Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Uh, mic test. Albert Einstein was a German-born theoretical physicist who developed the theory of relativity, one of the two pillars of modern physics. Okay. Everything seems to be working. Uh, Behind the scenes, I was doing a lot of Alright. Whew. Okay. Alright. So, this is going to be a significant milestone for my channel. I have a lot of things I want to go talk about. There's going to be a lot of dramatic changes to this live stream that I want to go address. I have this things to go kind of talk about, um, but in no particular order. I didn't really prioritize this, but all right. So no more background music. The problems with copyright and people's taste. So for like the last hour and a half, and not just the past hour and a half, I've been having a lot of difficulty trying to balance out the background music with my microphone, just so I can make sure that uh, that the background music is not too overwhelming. Now, I did some further research about this, and I discovered that having background music, searching for opinions on Reddit, for Twitch watchers, uh, a lot of the times they actually prefer you don't have background music. Uh, and the other thing which I kind of want to stress about in regards to background music would have to be copyright music. Like compared to Twitch, where if you're playing copyrighted music after the end of the stream, it's only going to mute that portion of the stream. A potential problem with the copyright system with YouTube is that if I'm playing a copyrighted song and it claims to be a and hello to the live stream Umut. You're the first one here, I believe. Uh, yeah. So yeah, according to like YouTube, if you're playing any sort of song, especially maybe some sort of like song that's really not allowed, that video may be blocked from the entire world, right? Or I might lose my live streaming privileges because I'm broadcasting copyrighted music. Or another thing is like I might like a 3+ hour live stream might get demonetized. So unfortunately, there's not going to be any more background music. I feel like this is kind of like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. I kind of like as of right now, as I'm doing the live stream, I actually have this music being played on my headset. However, you folks are not hearing it right now because the music is being played through my speakers and not through my television/slash monitor. So, yeah, that's something important to say. Yeah, so no more background music. It's because of copyright. That's just my main concern. Uh, And as per usual, when it comes to these live streams, like I always kind of want to go talk about these list of things that I want to go talk about, and then we're gonna go into the real cake of the live stream. Uh, I kind of got this idea from an individual that I like to go watch and listen to. His name is Sam Harris. He's a very famous academic philosopher. Um, but anyways, mic and headphone or just a headset budget. I'll go talk about that one later. So finished talking about that. Uh, why I can only stream at this time. Okay, yeah, let me go talk about that. So obviously it's 3:31 in the morning, as you can see in the bottom right, and September 7, 2019. It's incredibly late where I am, and as a person that's like a severe night owl, I mean, I'm like totally fine with this kind of schedule. I decided to go stream at this time because I don't have the luxury nor the privilege to go stream during Saturday nor Sunday, because on Saturday and Sunday my family they're not working, and usually on Saturday and Sunday we usually have some sort of family activity where we go outside or do something. So it's only this time, unfortunately, that I can do this at late at night. There's gonna be those miraculous moments where I'm gonna go do a live stream at like 5 p.m. But those are far and few between. Uh, so yeah, and I guess for people watching this in the future, I suppose you can, as always, you can always fast forward to the part where I'm actually talking about uh, the topic of this title, the title of this live stream. Okay, so that's the reason why I can only stream at this time, because on Saturdays and Sundays I'm busy with my family. Uh, I'll read this one later. That's for the actual live stream. Um, okay, so I'm not sure which one. Well, I'm gonna talk about both either way. Okay, so story behind the new profile pics and this last face reveal. So as you may have noticed with my YouTube channel, I actually changed my YouTube profile picture icon to this one right here, and just making sure if the mic is working. Okay, good. I changed it to this one. I like this one a lot. I had a friend of mine who's an artist make this one for me. I set in photos of what I looked like and how I wanted it to be made, and I'm incredibly very pleased with the results of this photo. And for the ones that don't really know where this art style is coming from, it's actually coming from uh, the Game Master's profile pictures. Now, if I can just very quickly, I don't know, type in FusionFall Legacy, FusionFall Legacy Wiki, Game Masters, they have this very certain, distinct look. So like, here's like one from Richard Graycam or Dogon McBanana with like these sorts of art styles. I've always like the very moment I first saw these art styles, I always wanted to try and have them. And I'm actually very pleased that the person who drew them for me managed to mimic that art style as closely as possible. In real life, I actually wear glasses that look like these, and this green jacket, it's an Oakley jacket. It's my favorite jacket. I've had it with me for more than 3 years now. It's been everywhere, outside of where I live, across the many places I travel to around the world. I bring it with me all the time. Um, th this hairstyle is a hairstyle I used to have for a very long time. As of right now, as I'm doing this live stream, I actually have a buzz cut, but this is like my general hairstyle. Uh, but so in a way, this is kind of like in a way is sort of a face reveal of what I look like in real life. For the people that don't know, and for the people that are just tuning in right now, or for people that are tuning in the future, I'm actually Filipino. I'm ethnically Filipino. I was born in the Philippines. I moved to California, and then in 2013 I moved to Canada. So I'm a Canadian citizen. I spent uh, 10 years in America. Um, so yeah, that's kind of a complicated immigrant history background. So I'm really honestly very happy with this profile picture. It's the profile picture that I have on my on the FusionFall forums right now. It's also the profile picture that I have right now for Discord, which is, since I mentioned Discord, I might as well bring in the opportunity to go plug in the server. So if you would like to go join uh, our Discord server called the Infected Zone, the invitation link is inside of the description, and not only that, there's also the link to the universal item guide as well, and which is fine, honestly very strange. It's 3:36 in the morning and there's 8 people on this document. It's probably because it's a Saturday night or Friday night on how you view this kind of stuff. um what was I talking about? uh And yeah, just going back into the guide, I actually placed myself here in the middle. So like created by, here's a headshot of myself. Yeah. Okay, so I talked about the story behind the new profile picture, a face reveal. Oh yeah, so face reveal. I'm actually not sure about this. I do have plans to do a face reveal in the future. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to be at 500 subscribers or like 1,000 subscribers, but one thing that I can guarantee you, it will happen. Uh, I've I'm willing to go purchase a relatively expensive webcam just to go show my face to my audience, and that's kind of a significant thing because it's like I know for a fact that as a person, I like, there's not a lot of people who actually do voice commentary on FusionFall, let alone actually show their face. So, yeah, I'm definitely planning to do that in the future, if not in like the medium or distant future. It will happen. So yeah, I plugged in the Discord. I did the face, I did the profile picture, and another thing that I want to go talk about would have to be the overlay or not to overlay. So I was doing a lot of research about this, and for the ones who watch Prisify, one of the game masters for Fusion Fall Retro, and I believe also for Fusion Fall Legacy, he has a layout uh, that looks like this, and I like it a lot. It has a social media, his YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon. It has this very nice join the Discord, his special thanks to patrons. That's basically all around very great. And originally, I wanted to have some sort of very heavy inspiration, uh, Prizzy's overlay. And I managed to make this entirely by myself. Um, However, I was doing some research about this, and I was having a discussion with an individual. His name was Wizard. He's also part of the Infected on Discord server, and he told me that the vast majority of people actually prefer you don't have an overlay because what the audience primarily cares about would have to be the screen, and the rest of this stuff that you see right here, it's just a waste of valuable uh, re, re, it's a waste of valuable retail space. It's a waste of space, right? So instead of just advertising all of this stuff, I can just advertise like the Discord inside of the description. I already have my profile picture on my YouTube channel, and there's no need to go put down this legacy icon because you know the title is already stating Fusion Fall Legacy. So I decided to, in a way, just kind of repeat what I stated earlier. I kind of took 2 steps forward and kind of, in a way, 1 step back. I was again planning to do this overlay with heavy inspiration with Prizzified or Prizzy, but I decided not to do that, and not just and furthermore, I even removed like the Discord invite link, which was like at the top center of the OBS stream. So, uh, yeah. So just like regarding the research for the overlay, I was having that discussion with an acquaintance of mine, Wizard, and not just that. I was doing research. I was asking for public opinion, And what I've found is that the general consensus is that if you are going to do an overlay, it has to be as simple as possible. Whereas some people state that you should have no overlay at all and just have like your webcam being displayed on the live stream. So again, I already talked about the webcam. It will happen in the future. Um, and so I did some further research by myself, and I looked into the top 15 most followed or subscribed individuals on Twitch, and I noticed that um, that almost all of them, in fact, no, all of them does not have an overlay, or at least something very similar to what this looks like. In fact, there's even like one top Twitch streamer who doesn't even show his face. He's like top 5, which is absolutely incredible. Uh, anyways, um, I've decided to go against overlay. I'm kind of disappointed that I spent like an hour of my time trying to go create this, but I think it's for the better, and I think it's just a way for myself to uh, just show more of the screen and less clutter. And I'm not taking any jabs at Prizzy. I personally like his layout, but I think for myself and from what I've researched, I'm just gonna go with what I believe to be the best route for my YouTube channel. Okay, so I talked about the overlay or not to overlay, um, and yeah, we're almost kind of done with these things to talk about. I might as well include like a sort of timestamp at the end of this live stream just to go state when like the actual, you know, live stream begins. Timestamp. Uh, okay. So another thing I want to go talk about would have to be a microphone and headphone or just a headset. So I was doing research on Amazon, and I'm not sure if I can show it right now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I was doing research on Amazon microphone, and I live in Canada, so it's not the American website. So I was doing research on a microphone, and part of the inspiration about this would have to be the last live stream, which I'm gonna go talk about right after this point. I'm doing some research about purchasing a microphone as well as a head as well as some headphones. So I've looked into this one right here. I've looked into the Snowball one, and you know a lot of people are recommending to go get yourself like the Blue Yeti. Now I've eliminated the Blue Yeti for now because you know I'm just a small time FusionFall YouTuber, and I think it would be kind of stupid if I were to go invest 160 plus Canadian dollars into into a microphone, uh, especially when I don't upload on a daily basis. Uh, so it just leaves me with these two options right here. I can go with the 42.99, or I can go with the Snowball one. I kind of feel like this one right here, the Snowball, would have to be the best option for me. But for now, I'm just kind of considering about that. Just moving on in terms of the microphone, uh, and more towards uh, the headphones. I did some preliminary research about purchasing some headphones, and from what I found, a your best bang for your buck would have to be this one right here. It even has its own $2 coupon. I've researched the rest of these, just you know, some very preliminary research. But again, just going back into the point, like I'm not willing to go spend $269 for a headphone if I'm just going to upload primarily at this point in time FusionFall videos. I know for a fact that I want to upload other stuff outside of FusionFall. But yeah, I'm just considering about purchasing these headphones as well as like that Snowball microphone. Uh, and not just that, I'm kind of thinking like combined together. That's kind of expensive, so I'm thinking of just purchasing some sort of headset. I've looked into the headsets, which is kind of like two birds in one stone. So you have yourself a quality, a quality mic as well as a quality headphone at the same time. And not just that, it's also relatively cheap. So again, two birds in one stone. I did some research about this, and I was asking, should I just purchase a headset, or should I purchase, or should I purchase the microphone, or should as well as a headphone? And almost all of them stated that I should choose the second option, where I have to go purchase a microphone as well as the headphones. Uh, but again, just repeating that point again, I don't really want to spend too much money on something that on just a hobby of mine. So I might just ultimately be getting this one, or perhaps I might not even spend any money at all, and just be stuck with the current headset that I have right now because I didn't really have to pay too much for it. Uh, but you never know. I know for a fact that if I were to ever get partnered with YouTube, like if I were to have like 1,000 plus subscribers, I will definitely invest in much more expensive equipment. But for now, at least at this point in time, YouTube is more of a hobby of mine, a very passionate hobby of mine, and I have really no interest in pursuing a career with it. I mean, like no offense, but I think it would be very kind of silly if I dropped everything to become a Fusion Fall YouTuber for a population of 10,000 players a month. Uh, anyways, so I talked about the mic and the headphone, uh, and I think we're going pretty well. I've been live streaming now for 27 minutes, so going at a good pace. Uh, so these photos are out of date. That's for the start of the picture of the day. And okay, so third last point that I want to go talk about would have to be the previous live stream. So the previous live stream actually made it private, and I'm kind of considering of deleting it altogether. It's not shown on the front on my YouTube channel because I was quite frankly uh, not very satisfied with the live stream. It only lasted for an hour and a half, and for a multitude of reasons. Uh, one of the primary reasons would have to be because of the audio. Uh, would have to be because of the audio. Um, like the entire live stream, it was having a lot of audio difficulties. I noticed it was actually not my headset. It was actually because of the filters from OBS, and it was actually this thing right here called noise gate. And if you were to turn it on, it would actually, if I were to keep on talking, it would occasionally cut off what I'm saying. In fact, I should remove this right now. Yeah, that's these stupid YouTube tutorials, you know. Uh, okay, so like another audio problem was I invited these group of individuals. It was a group of four. It was a group of three people and one more, which is myself. So it's like four people. The problem was like I was trying to go to communicate with them how on Discord. However, the OBS recorder wasn't picking up the conversation, and I had to go do a very ghetto solution where I had to use my phone and place my microphone headset on my phone just so they can hear, just so their voices can be transferred into the live stream. And the other reason would have to be because uh, the individuals that I invited, I've talked to them. I've talked to one of them. And and my mistake was I did not develop any form of chemistry with them. And I made that mistake because none of the staff members inside of the Discord server of my Discord server were willing to go and use their mic. So but speaking about that, uh, I will very likely invite one person that I know well into a future live stream. I've always wanted to try and consider of making a sort of hybrid of a live stream as well as a podcast. because I've always wanted to make a podcast. I listen to Joe Rogan Experience as well as other podcast people on a nearly daily basis. So, like, why not, right? Um, so yeah, it was because of uh, audio difficulties and also because of the lack of chemistry that was being formed. Like when I met these individuals, again, no offense to them, they're good people. Uh, I just didn't develop that relationship yet with them for myself to understand their jokes. Okay, so that's the previous live stream. Uh, okay, we're almost there, man or girl, and yeah, we're ready. We're ready to go talk now. Uh, but technically not in a way. Okay, so I have this message prepared. Uh, Let me go and advertise the stream on my universal item guide. Picture of the day. I need to do this right now. Oswald, and I'm totally okay if it's like one person watching this right now. I understand how late it is. Uh, I do see live stream. Live streaming now. Okay, so live streaming. Oh, that's not how it goes. Add this to your dictionary. Okay. So, uh, I've been wanting. So I actually get a lot of fan mail. I get a lot of fan mail on the forums. A lot of people thanking me for all of the things that I've contributed to the FusionFall community. And in a way, it's very flattering when I have this kind of fan mail, considering how insignificant I am on this planet. But it's always very nice and very flattering when I do receive this. I actually have a photo. I actually have a folder of of this stuff when people send me these kinds of messages. Um, like they send it to me on Discord, or like they meet, or like they say thank you in game, or they say thank you on the forums, or like whatever. But I'm always very thankful when I have these very long uh, messages, and I believe this is like the longest longest message I've ever received, and this is relating to the Calling All Designers live stream series that I did, and I'm referring to this one right here, calling which was very successful, 726 viewers, 227, part 2 of 3. This was 300 views, part 1 of 3. Again, very successful. It had and the point of that was to try and spark discussion for legacy, and I think it was very successful. On average, no, all of them got 20 plus likes. I think this one got the most likes, I think, and obviously by far the most views, which is kind of odd because like you would watch the first one, or like the second one would have the most views, but the third one has the most views. Um, Anyways, what am I talking about? Yeah, so yeah, the point of I'm honestly very proud of what I did with the Calling All Designers thread. I made a lot of people uh, have discussion towards legacy because it's been a very long needed. It's been a long drought. Like the last picture of the day, which refers to the title of this video, was more than 2 years ago, right? So yeah, there's that to also consider. So I'm just gonna read this. This is my first time reading this. I asked the person Tan if I could have the permission if I could read this publicly, and he said yes. He gave me the yes on Discord. So thanks a lot, Infinite Possibilities. Let's see. what's the link? My profile for your very kind words about my suggestions. Though as a matter of fact, I pretty much just drew up a bunch of other people's suggestions in most cases. You are extremely flattering, though possibly a bit insane to think I can compare with our incredibly talented dev team. Still, like the seventh son of the Alligator King, you picked me up when I was down, and I'm very grateful for your demented, positive opinion of my talent. What's seventh son of the Alligator King? Okay. By the way, Tan, it ought to be Tannhauser, or however you pronounced it, is a pain in the neck to write, and okay, Tannhäuser, Tannhäuser. But go ahead and call me Tan. It's a lot easier on everyone. Okay, I'll continue calling you Tan. Perhaps I could make a few clarifying remarks in general. Quite a few of our suggestions came before there was any retro and before many of us knew anything about all the assets that the game hadn't really used. So a lot of the things that actually appear in the game were suggested but turned out not to require suggesting. Some of the suggestions that occur over and over were inspired by specific threads, such as this thread and this thread about suits, since we had no idea that there would be a Nurgle suit before Retro was activated, and the Nurgle suit was offered, as I recall, for the first time at the birthday bash. Yes, I remember that. Um, so is this thread and this thread? Okay. Yeah, this is from 2016. I'm not gonna read these threads. Uh, a lot of my outfits started out in much cruder forms and were refined over a certain amount of time, though you can't really tell that because I lost a lot of my original designs when the site that originally hosted my pictures collapsed, and I had to repost all my designs. In pretty much every case, I posted the final version, which by the way is why all my examples have more natural complexions rather than the gray skins I started out with. The Trunks hairstyle was the first suggestion I ever made for FusionFall, way back in the old Fusion Modulation headquarters. So, okay, so like this is referring to the original FusionFall. Since I'm not a fan of anime in general, I've never heard of Trunks before I wrote up the suggestion back on the old set before FusionFall universe. I knew of it as a curtain hair and long before, and just always really liked it. So he's referring uh, oh wow, there's a whole bunch of hairstyle suggestions here. That's incredible. Wow. This is a wonderfully put together suggestion thread. And even Dogon gave the thumbs up as well. That's great. I also love the hairstyles here. And using famous actors. Oh, what? Liam's Hemsworth. Is he like Chris Hemsworth sibling? That's interesting. That's really cool. So he wasn't referencing Trunks. He was just referencing other stuff. So two, the Lewis and Hussard sets were my first stab at a request, which I fulfilled with number three below. Number three below. The Prussian-German equivalent of English Victorian is that, though Queen Louise herself lived in what the English and Romance novelists call the Regency period. The Germans generally call that, and everyone, the Napoleonic era. The Michael Jackson jacket is what's called a hussar jacket, part of a Hungarian-type cavalry uniform which Jackson seemed to favor for its gaudiness. The shirt jacket is a simple recolor. I did the hussar trousers because I wasn't sure how well the PC could run in the Empire skirt. I didn't really care much for Louise's furry top hat either. The Busby hat really ought to have a plume at the front, but it was apparently detachable and I didn't see one in my sources. I do think the Hussar set would work well with multiple recolors, particularly in vermilion, forest green, Prussian blue, dark violet, and ivory. So the Hussar jacket, I think he's referring to Michael Jackson. Oh, oh yeah, I remember the photo that he was referring to. I wish he kind of also attached the photos that I was talking about in the live stream, but it was referring to this Hungarian light cavalry sort of outfit, and it's also incredibly nice that that Tan is using not just Fusion Fall Cartoon Network lore, but he's also using real life lore, not just in like Western European civilization sense, but also in terms of like the Eastern European side of history, because I think it's important to represent other areas inside of the world, right? But that's very interesting. So number three, there's a lot of points right here. I don't think I can go through all of them, but I feel kind of bad because obviously you spent a lot of time going through with this. The Alexander Hamilton set wasn't my idea at all. JT requested it, and I just did my best to follow up on his suggestion. I also have no idea what Alexander Hamilton has to do with FusionFall, but that's what he asked for. And an added a bit of irony, Hamilton's costume in the musical doesn't resemble his actual uniform at all, but George Washington's. The Loyalist set is just a recolor, though if there was going to be variations of them in the game, I'd want them to be historically accurate as far as possible. So JT requested it, so the Alexander Hamilton set. Oh yeah, okay. And then he followed up, uh, perhaps not this page, but I really wish that he attached the photos. Um, Number four, ha again. Next set was mainly a joke, though I did kind of want to see that cat 22 doggy ears in the game. The character is actually just a humanized Cat 22. The suit is a Fusion Fall version of the suit he wears, and he's sad because Cat 22 in his own cartoon is constantly being humiliated and mutilated. Oh gosh, mutilated. I did suggest the ears again later, a little more seriously. Okay. Cat 22. Who is Cat 22? I'm forgetting. Cat 22. Okay, this guy right here. Uh, Only ran for one season. Number of episodes was 5. Okay. Number 5. The various formal suits. We skipped past some business suits I had also done. Here was a response to the suit thread I mentioned above, and to the fact that it drives me crazy when people don't distinguish among tuxedos, tails, and morning suits. All the characters were originally bald. I added the hair later after someone asked for a short hairdo with a side part coming up later. Frankly, I think all these outfits are pretty boring. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like when I see a car, unless it's like a sports car, like a Lamborghini or like a Bugatti or like a Ferrari. A car is a car. Uh, so like when I see a suit, I just see a suit. I don't necessarily think it's a specific type of suit. Um, I'm very glad you like the Valkyrie. Did I skip that one? Okay, number 6. The hand box set was inspired by some little wooden figurines my dad brought back from Korea when I was a very small boy. I'm glad you think this one would be good for recolors, because that's exactly what I wanted for it. I do have some worries about characters running in the skirt, though. I need to go back and do a male version, if only because regular show featured a penguin in a Korean hat that was adorable. Okay, yeah. Um, Again, I kind of was. I'm kind of forgetting what photo, but I'm kind of also remembering that as well. Uh, Number 7, I'm very glad, and you also bolded that as well. I'm very glad you like the Valkyrie sets, female and male, because I think they're my favorites of my own designs. Of course, nothing I do is very original, but I do think these turned out pretty well. I think Tan is being very, uh, what's that word? Having, showing a lot of humility, with this, and I like that a lot. I think, when you think about it, there's no such thing as an original idea. Like when you look at a book, uh, a lot of those plot devices are just reused elements across hundreds, if not thousands, of years of storytelling. In fact, there's an interesting thing about this with the late Joseph Campbell, where he talks about the hero's journey. So number 7 or number 8, the, the Curse of Page Boy Pumpkin Scale Dutch Boy Prince Variant Coconut Head Haircut. I ruined the day I posted. So you apparently dislike this one. Uh, oh, this haircut. I would define a bowl cut right here as a coconut head style. Uh, Prince Valiant Dutch Boy Round Head Puritan. It's pretty funny. So you kind of you regret that one. Whereas number 9, yeah, a bunch of people started asking me to do hair for some reason, so I thought a couple of pages that people could use to focus on hair would be useful. The short haircut with the side part was a request from Dragon Slayer. I think there's a little bit of Johnny Quest inspiration behind it. Dusky asked me to do a curly undercut. We can always use a little more hair variety, right? 12, I did the full turnaround for the hair I used for the handbox set because I thought it would be a fairly useful hairstyle, and I hope it would make it easier on the devs to adopt this way. 13, the Quips hairstyle was another request. I reposted the Cat 22 suit only because I'd already given this quick in black, because 22 actually does wear his hair in a quiff. Besides, FusionFall Cat 22 is my thing. Number 14, and to cement the fact that Cat 22 is my personal, and to also test out whether my turnaround page can actually be used for hats, I went ahead and resubmitted the Cat 22 dog ears. I don't think I did the best job with them though, and you know, I think you're placing a lot of humility on yourself and a lot of pressure. I think again, just to repeat myself, Tan's my favorite designer, and even if you think your ideas are not original, I think the way that you've implemented uh, what the people were asking is more than enough. You could have just drawn a very cow poop uh, stick figure drawing, but you went above and beyond that and did some sort of professional looking models. Uh, I can understand that you find the zoot suit baggy. Oh, this one. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. But that's seriously how one is supposed to look, as one can see in 1944 Tom and Jerry cartoon The Zoot Cat, or as worn by the great Cab Calloway. Zoot Cat, 1944. Okay, I can't play that for copyright reasons, as well as Cab Calloway. Oh, okay. It's like I understand what you mean. So again, we're having that source of historical inspiration. I thought you were again referencing, or you probably were referencing Billy's outfit, but also wanted to go for that baggy look as well. That's interesting, and I really do admire the way that you have this bank of information for fashion from the past, and not just from the past, but through a relatively wide region of areas. I mean, just like if you were to have a discussion with the average person, uh, unfortunately, they don't know much about the rest of the world, but apparently, clearly, you do, and you're probably wondering, oh, there's that humility thing going on in your head right now. Um, So number 15, the Cossacks set was inspired by Poppleworks, who wanted a Russian style set in the game, and by Prizified, an XPC gamer who mentioned the lack of winter gear. Yes, those are rifle cartridges on the chest, as Princess Swana says in yes, we were very wrong to let our Cossacks use their whips. On rebellious peasants, they had such reliable guns. And so it was requested by Poppleworks, who wanted a Russian style set in the game. Oh yeah, okay. And then hopefully he he actually made one of these here. Oh, you didn't do that. Okay. But it's inside of the calling all designers thread. Um Number 16, Prizzy and XPC Gamer also several times commented in the reviews that a lot of people were submitting clothing, but not many submitted armor. I tried to make up for that with the Nevsky set. Unfortunately, it was very much a work in progress, and I never was particularly pleased even with the final result. Still, it was armor for a change. Uh, I enjoyed your YouTube series about the design thread very much, and I tend to watch it through again at least a few more times. I have to admit, I mainly concentrated on your comments on my own designs the first 3 or 4 times, while you watched the 11-hour series uh, 4 times. As the reviewers say, this video fulfills a long felt need. I was very much entertained by your commentary, and I am, as I say, very grateful for your very indulgent attitude towards my designs, though suggesting that it should be part of the dev team makes me wonder if some sneaky spawn has not dealt you a blow to the back of the head without you realizing it. I hope to see a lot more of your work, both at FusionFall Universe and YouTube. Thanks again, um, Tan. Alright, so this is very flattering. I love this message a lot, and this is something that I'm definitely gonna keep, probably for the rest of my life. So I do appreciate you sending this very long, detailed, very well thought out message. Normally speaking, like whenever I do receive like a fan message, it's often only just, "Hey, how are you? Like, I love your work," and at most, like they give me something for free. But you went above and beyond the Call of Duty, and again, I just really appreciate what you've done here. Uh, all right, so I'm gonna close this tab, and I'm gonna close this tab right here. I'm kind of wondering if someone actually commented on. Oh no, no, it's not. No one has commented here. Okay. Hi, hello, and how are you? Maddox Row Enderman. Okay, welcome to the live stream. How are you? I'm doing well. I've been live streaming for 51 minutes now and 43 seconds, and yeah. So, uh, so calling all designers, Tan's message. We've talked about that, and I'm kind of not sure about placing some sort of timestamp with this live stream. Uh, and it's kind of ironic that I've been doing this for almost an hour now, and I haven't really touched the title of of this live stream, which is the picture of the day. Uh, but it's time to officially really start the actual thing. All right, so I suppose if I were to make a timestamp, 52:33 or 52:30 is when the the thing starts. Uh, Reminder to comment this at the end of the live stream. Okay. All right, so we're gonna look through pictures of the day, and uh, and in order for you to go access this section, what you want to do is, okay, let me just get it. We're at the home page, right? If you want to go access it, uh, click on forums, and then scroll all the way down to FusionFall Legacy, and not just that, you're gonna go down here to not pick of the day that has the new photos, relatively new photos, and also the old photos, but it's kind of confusing. But we're gonna look here at the old pick of the day threads, and this is very ancient. So picture of the day. I'm not sure if there's some sort of Wikipedia. There probably is a Wikipedia article for it. FusionFall Legacy, Wiki, pick of the day. Maybe there is for it. Yeah, because I remember scanning through. Okay, cool. Alright, so what is the pick of the day and why am I doing this? Okay, so picture of the day, I'm going to read this wiki entry, is an event that happens on the FusionFall Universe forums. These pictures are usually updated on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and showcase a new or pre-existing element in FusionFall Legacy. Photos can also reveal new areas, characters, and nanos to the public. The pictures are displayed on the FusionFall Legacy official website, as well as on a Twitter account created specifically for these pictures. Below is a list of all pictures currently released. Okay, so testing. Okay, the mic is working. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of photos here. I've counted them myself. There's definitely, I believe, more than 200 picture of the day photos, and unfortunately and fortunately, I've already severely spoiled myself and looked at all of these photos because I'm doing a project where I'm just trying to do a massive compilation of every single legacy photo that I can find. Devin and I are in uh, relatively close communication regarding this project. But yeah, there's more than 200 photos here, and just to go boil it down, the too long didn't read is picture of the day is are basically teasers for FusionFall Legacy. Now, I do have something important to state regarding picture of the day. So, particularly when it comes to season 1 and season 2. Why season 1 and season 2? And also, what's this weird world? Oh, okay. So, season 1 and season 2, the first one was posted June 2016, and season 2 was posted on January 1st, 2017, and then it ended on July 28, 2017. So these are considered largely out of date because it's been 3 years, right? And that's a long time in terms of development. 3 years ago, we didn't like the developer team didn't have a bunch of new artists joining the staff. Uh, so there's a lot of brand new ideas, and everything that you see here, even photos such as this, they can dramatically change. And in fact, maybe a photo such as simple as this, it may be completely, absolutely different. And I'm being kind of paranoid right now. I'm just gonna temporarily do a mic check, because okay, good. So the mic is working. All right. Okay. So everything that you see here on picture of the day, they're bound to dramatically change, and yeah. Okay. So and why am I doing picture of the day? So the reason why I'm doing picture of the day is because I want to spark discussion for FusionFall Legacy. Unfortunately, the last discussion for FusionFall Legacy, like officially, was way back in like July or June 28, 2017. It's been more than 2 years, so there's been a long drought of in the dark, news regarding the development of FusionFall Legacy, and I think it's just I think it's important to have these sorts of discussions so we can at least have some sort of hope and some sort of interest within our very small community. Uh, so, anyways, we're gonna start here. And it's also because of the success of the Calling All Designers thread. So yeah, so we're gonna start right here, and you can follow along with me. Uh, and okay, then we already have our first problem. I have to go load this up on Chrome. Um, okay, so we have to go load this up on Chrome. Okay, so here we have ourselves our very first picture of the day photo, and I believe, uh, and it's Rex Cipher. Welcome to the live stream, man. Okay, so we have our very first picture of the day here, and way back from June 15, 2016, posted at 12 in the morning. So there's going to be a lot of sort of analysis of what's going on in these photos. Now, I'm not the best CSI crime scene investigation photographer here, so I'm just going to heavily rely on the first or second, probably third pages of these threads, just to go try and save ourselves some time. Now, a lot of these photos, it doesn't really have much interest, but I suppose the significance of this particular photo is I think it's the very first one, if not one of the first 5 picture of the days. So we have ourselves like a broken car right here. We have this fusion spawn sign. We have this sacked agent container. This one right here, we have ourselves this ruins or something from the wilds, or like Monkey Mountain kind of prop. This one right here, we have ourselves a Honey Barbara uh, totem, which, if you can remember, during like when you were in your late teen levels as well as your early mid teen levels, you were doing like a saga of missions which were relating to these totem poles. And if you look closely, it actually has those Honey Barbara characters as well. I kind of want to go talk about Honey Barbara uh, in a bit. We have ourselves here a robot, we have ourselves a bicycle, and we have ourselves a scamper. Now, in the first, unfortunately failed attempt, again, this is like a redo of the picture of the day, part one. Uh, so what I remember, one of the individuals inside of the voice chat were stating that they took this photo at Chris Waldron's house, and again, who is Chris Waldron? So Chris Waldron, at least according to what they stated, is like he's the guy uh, behind FusionFall, and here he is right here. Actually, this is the first time I'm seeing this. I kind of want to go talk about this. Oh, he also has a LinkedIn as well. That's interesting. Oh, he's from University of Florida. Andrews, I feel like I'm kind of stalking him, but this is public information. May 2008, 2010. Other creators. Okay, so we actually are looking at uh, official developers from the game. That's very interesting. So yeah, Cartoon Network, he worked there for 19 years and 2 months. He was the vice president of games and digital products, vice president, executive producer, and director of technology. So this guy is someone who I believe, at least according to the individuals I was talking with, who was the brains of FusionFall. And by brains, I think he was the one who suggested the birth of FusionFall in the first place. So here's a picture of, I think, hopefully Chris Waldron. Kind of reminds me of Vsauce. Is it just because of like he's also bald and wears glasses and has a beard? Uh, but this is the guy behind him. So what's interesting about Chris Waldron and what's interesting about this photo in particular is, again, according to the people that I was talking with, they stated that they took this photo at Chris Waldron's house. And they know that because the background for this is very similar to the background here. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to probably use a lot of heavy referencing, and I'm going to have to go do a lot of research for this. But this is Chris Waldron's house. And this is interesting in a way because uh, the mastermind of FusionFall actually wanted to implement his own house inside of the game, and in a way, he's forever immortalized inside of FusionFall. And if you can remember, if you were doing those missions in the future, that Mandark mission where I think it was Bring Me the Head of Larry 3000, or it was the one where you had, no, it was the one with the time, with the time holes. Hey, Vsauce, it's Michael here. I love Vsauce. I'm an early subscriber of Vsauce, ever since he originally started uploading. I don't want to get into too much of a tangent about that, but I've been subscribed to him since I think 2011, and I'm very proud of how far he's come. And I'm disappointed that he sold his channel to YouTube. But his YouTube series, YouTube Red series, Minefield, it's it's like the only good show on YouTube that you have to go pay for. But yeah, Chris Waldron, he's forever immortalized in FusionFall because he has his house built here. And fun fact, if you a fun fact, I wasn't there at the time, but YouTube FusionFall Time Squad event, what Chiller. There's a photo or there's a video from Aqua Chiller. Oh wow, this was 11 months ago. So credit to Aqua Chiller for this footage right here. And so we had these Time Squad agents. So this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I gotta. So this is. Oops, not that one. So here's again. They figured out it was Chris Waldron's house because of the background, right? So we have this sort of grayish look. And if you're to look here in this video, it also has that wall as well. Um, so these walls, and yep, it's the one right here. And what's kind of interesting is that there's like a little crack right here as well, so kind of over analyzing the the picture, but this is where the inspiration is from. Uh, I'm gonna delete this one right here. It's kind of odd. It's like 4:25 in the morning, and like there's people on the document. Um, or it's like 7:25 in the morning up in like the East Coast. Uh, you don't see anything. Yeah, picture's broken. So I'm gonna heavily rely on these individuals to go see if there's anything interesting uh, for them to go stay here. My guess, there's a fusion layer. I think it may be a fusion layer. Uh, I'm not. Why is he talking about fusion layers? So yeah, I'm just gonna look into the first, very quickly look into the first 3 pages of each thread, just to go try and look for any sort of interesting things to go talk about and analyze. I know that Magical Dealer, another YouTuber, did a very in-depth series about Picture of the Day. I haven't watched a single video of that, but I know it exists. It's not a fusion layer. Okay, so that's the first photo that we can talk about. And here we have ourselves the next photo, Hero Square. So this is something from what Dogon McBanana stated. This was posted June 8, 2016, 1:28 in the morning. Well, why was Dogon up all late that night? But you can also ask the same thing for me. Why am I up this late? So Hero Square is a monument built to honor the missing heroes. In the final game, it will be decorated with holograms. So I kind of want to go spoil the individuals here because I know what's ahead, but I don't want to do that. So again, just again, what's kind of significant here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it, but oh, here's like their Twitter. Let's just open this up on paint.net. I'm gonna go close this. I talked about this stuff. Okay, so I think what's significant here would have to be the updated textures, and this is going to be a continuous theme, comparing and contrasting the original game with retro as well as with legacy. And what's very unique with, or not unique, I mean, like modern games have this, but what I guess like the significant difference with Legacy is that there's going to be a significant increase in textures. Like as if there's like I don't know, like a lot of heavy mods being added into the game just to go make it look better. Maybe perhaps I don't know, like maybe like a Minecraft mod. So I'm not exactly sure. Like as you can see here, there's shadows for nearly anything that you see here. There's shadows here. Obviously, the Hero Square has a lot more trees. It has a lot more benches. You know, if you can remember, like the moment you arrive in the past, you would see 2 guide NPCs, which is like Mojo's guide character as well as at Double D's guide character. If you chose those 2 guides, obviously Buttercup is not here as well. Perhaps the message has been updated and has been changed to something else. Another thing that's of significance here, again at my another thing that's of significance would have to be the scamper is no longer located there. And again, there's that sort of spoilers to kind of watch out. I feel kind of bad because I feel kind of sad because like I know what's up. And you know another thing that you can see here is that there's kind of like this curved path, and there's like these fences here as well. So they definitely redid the look for Hero Square. Oh, there's some trees here. I don't think there were ever trees here as well. And I remember there was like these boxes uh, in FusionFall Retro. These boxes up here, and it's gone now. Uh, we have ourselves this bus stop station here. Um, and but yeah, so I think I'm just probably just gonna overanalyze this kind of stuff. And oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? I didn't notice this one here. Are these okay? This looks like a chair. So there's chairs around the square. Um, okay. All right, so let's go read the comments to go see if there's anything interesting. Curved roads, hype. Yeah, right there. The curved roads are. Oh yes, yes. Curved roads. This again, kind of a significant, significant update. Compare and contrast with OG with Legacy. There's curved roads here, which is very odd. They never included curved roads in the original. And again, there's a curved path here as well. Um, looks nice so far. Looks good. Uh, curved roads. This is truly beautiful. I wonder if they'll use the same holograms as the original. Um, just gonna remind everyone of the little gem from some devlogs ago. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. So, actually, good thing actually, I've seen this before, and my music unfortunately stopped for some reason. Video pause. Continue watching. What the heck? Oh, I'm listening to this right now. Uh, and there's no background music playing. I talked about this at the beginning of the live stream. It's primarily because of copyright concerns. I'm honestly very happy that Undertale is inside of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. A lot of people were incredibly happy that he was included. Uh, I've never played the game. I know that this game is amazing, extraordinary, has like a 10 out of 10 on Steam, and I kind of want to go make a live stream series about this, maybe down the road. Perhaps during like the off season when there's like no updates for a long while. What am I talking about? Yeah, so yeah, we're reading this. So here's something that Devin posted from like the old dev blogs, and here we have ourselves Major Glory. This one right here, this one looks like a tooth. I don't know the name, but I know what show uh, it's referring to. It's referring to like Chowder, I believe. Here we have ourselves the book. Here we have ourselves. It says BK here. I'm not sure what the initials are, but I'm under the assumption because it has that watermelon look, and again I have that future knowledge. Uh, that's Johnny, and here we have ourselves Monkey, and I'm not sure who this one is here as well. Looks like looks like Master Yoshi from Dragon Ball has that beard and glasses. Uh, okay. So that's what they're going to include. Wisdom Tooth. Okay, so that's what he's referring to. Chowder, Wisdom Tooth, or is that from Flapjack? Okay, yeah, it is from Chowder, so it's a great thing. Okay, so this is not going to be. That was like the original. That was the original plan. Chowder, his name is Wisdom Tooth, I believe. Oh, thank you. He appeared in 3 episodes. Okay, he was a storyteller of the Puckerberry Overlords, and he had a minor role in Panini for President and Chowder Grows Up. He has a bushy mustache and is usually shown with a book or a banjo. Okay, this is what he looks like in the show. Chowder's Wisdom Tooth. That's interesting. Is indeed wise. However, he's not an actual Wisdom Tooth. Okay, so Puckerberry Overlords, and we all know what they look like. They appeared inside of the game. Oh, the heck? Oh, okay, those are Chowder's taste buds. and he reappeared again. So that's definitely like the wisdom tooth from Chowder. I'm not exactly sure who this one is. Oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely. It's very difficult to try and determine who it is, but this is definitely Cow from Cow and Chicken. And for the ones that don't know who Cow is, let's just search it up right now. Cow and Chicken wiki. It's an old. Here it is. It's referring to this character right here. Oh wow, October 14, 1988. So if like Cal was actually real, Cal is 31 years old. Wow, that's wow. Is it Cal was seven? Cal is Chicken's 7-year-old first grade Cal sister. Wow. Uh, but yeah, that's definitely referencing to Cal. So yeah, this is Cal. This is Wisdom Tooth. This is obviously Major Glory. This is Johnny. This is Monkey, and it's been changed. So obviously, again, they've this is very likely out of date. Uh, but even then, even if it is out of date, it's always cool to kind of try and look at what they can of what the original plans were and what we can imagine what FusionFall Legacy will look like. Um, so here the comments are kind of like trying to confirm. I feel like we'll be missing some of the missing heroes as holograms, such as Major Glory, Samurai Jack, and Buttercup. Remember the hero square used as a memorial to heroes that are missing in Axon, pre-academy that is. That's why Buttercup was the only hologram in the past, so keep that in mind, and I hope that... Okay. The fact that people care about curved roads makes me happy. Here's a curved road for all of you, okay. Here's one from Ekins, your former temporary CT. And did my music stop again? That's unfortunate. Oh, what? Okay. Uh, this honestly just reminds me of from the times of Halo Reach. Uh, Halo Reach. Truck. Halo Reach. Truck. Halo Reach truck. No, pickup truck. Is it called a pickup truck? Or no, it's a forklift. Halo Reach forklift. I can't really. Okay, yeah, this is old 2010. Wow, but I remember watching footage advertising Halo Reach, and the crowds were actually going wild that you can actually drive a drive a forklift, and it's very simple, but just having these simple things again, like with curved roads added into the game, it just makes things a better experience, and I think Halo Reach is my favorite Halo game. I think Halo 2 has the best plot. Uh, Halo 4 has the most emotional one. Halo 2 also has the most significant improvement. I think Halo 5 has the best multiplayer. Uh, Halo 3 also has a good storyline and also has great multiplayer. Halo Reach has the best armor customization. Um, but anyways, so Maddox Row Enderman stated, I wonder if we could have some of that Red Devil action in the game. The Red Devil from Cow and Chicken and from I Am Weasel. And Hent Shagger stated hot. I don't know what's hot, but I think Cow and Chicken, the Red Man, or is he called Red Man? No, he's called the Red Devil, or he's Red Guy. He's called Red Guy. For the ones who don't know who he is, or just kind of forgetting who he is, it's this guy right here, and he's also known as the Devil. uh, oh, and I didn't know he was from I Am Weasel as well in IR Boom. Okay. Parents are dad and mom. That's interesting. Red Guy's dad and Red Guy's mom. I haven't, I remember watching this show, but I didn't, okay, those are his parents. That's interesting. And here's his mom. That's also very interesting. Hair color is bald. I didn't know that was a hair color. Uh, but it would be interesting to go see Red Guy inside of FusionFall Legacy. I'm not exactly sure where he's going to be located, but I think he's probably going to be located somewhere in the suburbs, if not. I no, I can imagine him being located anywhere in the game, but I think the most likely one would have to be the suburbs because like when I think of Cow and Chicken, they're like a suburbs family, right? So there's that to go try and consider as well. Um, okay, so we're gonna go back here. We have ourselves Immortal Doom, and I remember he once had a Yeti dad in I Am Weasel. A Yeti dad, okay. So here we have ourselves a very significant and very most wanted photo that the fans from the original have wanted for a very long time, and I think my playlist is bugged. Um, Perhaps I need to go deactivate this. And no, I just have to go and no, I have to go press shuffle. Okay, there we go. All right. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was talking about Rolf. So the character that a lot of people wanted, always wanted from the very beginning of the game, and people were asking and having a lot of conspiracy theories about, which were later then debunked by Devin, would have to be Rolf. And I remember when the original game was around and Devin still was not called Devin, but was called Wilt Tilt. He had a deviant art where he had designs for uh, for DeviantArt, FusionFall, 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 Wilt Tilt, Thai Aquazone for making FusionFall. I reference his work a lot. I need to go try and bookmark it. FusionFall, Devin. Uh, Someone can help me find it. It's very important because he also has a lot of interesting photos that I want to go try and talk about. DeviantArt, FusionFall, Devin, Wilt Tilt. Oh my gosh. No. FusionFall, come on. Or how about FusionFall, Fusion Tom? Here it is. Yeah, I definitely have to go try and bookmark his thing. I remember for a long time, Devin or Wilto at the time when he was known as Wiltilt, he was learning how to draw, and one of the first things he drawed was Rolf, and I'm really glad that he's managed to implement. It looks like I'm having some case of Mandela effect, uh, but I know for a fact uh, that Rolf was always something to be implemented inside of the game. So Rolf, I'm really happy that he's there, and I'm kind of wondering if Rolf is going to have his own sort of nano, and this kind of makes me kind of want tangent into like future sorts of nano powers and ways they can improve the ones that are terrible in that with the ones that we have right now, kind of like a Treasure Hunter. But just very briefly, if Rolf were to be a nano, and we know for a fact that Rolf is the second strongest character in Ed, Ed, and Eddie. The first one is Ed, which is ED. Uh, okay, so Fusion Fall nano powers. Uh, So, if Rolf were to be a nano, what would his nano power be? Would it be an antidote? No, I don't see that happening. I don't maybe bonus because like one of the requirements for a urban ranger is the ability for yourself to go sell your products, right? I can see bonus inside of that. I really hope that Rolf doesn't really have some sort of bad nano power, and I don't want him to have freedom. It's not used at all. Guard, no, I don't want that. I don't want that for Rolf. I'm not really sure about jump. I mean, in a way, again, like you can always, if you really tried, you can, or if you're creative enough, you can find some sort of way and some sort of justification for why a certain nano has that power. Um, I'm not sure about radar. Run, I don't know about that. Or maybe like Rolf gets mad at you, right? Rolf gets mad at you, and and then he forces you to go run faster. I think Scavenge would do very well for Rolf, and it would make I think the most sense because he's kind of like a guide, right? Urban Rangers. He's the leader of the Urban Rangers, and I think that would make the most sense. Now, regarding like the location of Rolf, clearly he's located here at Peach Creek Commons, and again, I have to give that reminder that everything you see here, at least for season one and season two, it's bound to dramatically change, right? Um, so another thing that that's kind of important to realize here, outside of Rolf, would have to be this pile of corn here, and I think this is something brand new that was never implemented inside of the game, or they probably sort of like enlarged some sort of existing file. But I think it's the first time I'm seeing corn inside of Fusion Fall Legacy, and again, it's those very minor things that these very minor things that make the game a lot more immersive. That'd be pretty cool. Like for example, like you know how in Pokemon there's a concept called wild grass or like tall grass, and obviously it's not tall, but it'd be pretty cool if there were some areas where you walk in the wilds, or perhaps maybe in Peach Creek Commons, such as like what you see here right now. You the player gets to walk through a bunch of like a wheat field, or like a corn or a cornfield, or like a maze, and you have to go try and navigate that area, and it would kind of suck a lot because like if you can remember that those extremo spawns at Foster's home with that maze, it was just really bad, and really those extremo spawns, those octopus monsters, they kept on trying to go attack you. Alright, so here we have ourselves 10. I like the grass. It seems to be very finely and convincingly done. This is one of those little things that get overlooked a lot that really can't. Yes, I absolutely agree. Um, Fusing cows and pigs in that area. Oh yes, yes, I totally forgot about Rolf. So again, like you know, Rolf, Ed, and Eddie. He's a farmer. He's a farmer. Uh, he's a farmer. Hopefully, there's some sort of images here. Oh, here's a young Rolf with his sheep. Young Rolf. I kind of want to read his wiki page. This is kind of long. Rolf is an immigrant from a far and distant culture known to us only as the Old Country, and it also has its own wiki page as well. Rolf's original home, mentioned in many episodes, it is an amalgam of many European cultures and is the source of the many odd customs, legends, fights, famous people, and wise sayings spouted by Rolf. Okay, and here oh yes, we have his beloved. Uh, he's the son of the shepherd, right? So I remember this pig that he was always attached to, and I always remember that he's very attached to his chickens when he was while I was originally watching the show. So I think it would be pretty cool if the developers can add in fusion pigs as well as fusion chickens as well as the rest of Rolf's farm animals. Ed, Ed and Eddie, Rolf farm animals. Yeah, here's his cow. Here's his pigs and his chicken. It'd be pretty cool. And not just that, if they also made an area dedicated, just you know, just a very small area inside of Peach Creek Commons or like Peach Creek Estates, where he has his farm. Oh, and I remember, and I remember his goats. So again, so like maybe we can have like a fusion pig, a fusion chicken, a fusion goat, a fusion cow. Um, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And here we have ourselves a Plank. I kind of want to talk about him in the future. Oh my gosh, I remember this scene right here. Wow. Um, okay. I really like the windmill behind the cul-de-sac. Oh, there's a windmill there. The grass entire landscape really do look good. Is this the windmill from Courage? I didn't notice that. Okay, so where's the windmill? The windmill. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. There's a windmill here. I'm not sure about the significance of it. Okay. Let's look into the second page. Do picture of the days happen on weekends. Okay. Seeing most of the empty space that was occupied by the paint straws and hydro hammers will be where Rolf and the mill will be. Really nice. Um, that was occupied by the paint straws and hydro hammers will be where. Okay, so yeah, where will Rolf be located? I think he's just gonna be located at Peach Creek Commons. You know that DD mission. Let me just try and very quickly bring that up. Uh, Fusion Fall, uh, Fusion Fall, DD Nano mission. Like you had to go to this area. Here's Ben's video, good friend of mine. Through proxy of Becca. So this is kind of like where I kind of expect, and video credit to Ben. This is kind of where I expect somewhere within this region where Rolf is going to be located. Uh, because there's a lot of land here, right? And I feel like they could use this large area of land to place where Rolf is going to be located. Uh, so yeah, this is seriously misleading to be Don Doom. Okay. Alright, let's move on to the next photo. Immortal Doom. Summerland residence. Okay. Okay, so here we have ourselves a car. The devs didn't do it yet, so I thought I might do it for them. Summerland residents tend to be the do-it-yourself kind of folks. They're a resourceful bunch, that's for sure. Here's the pick of the day. Be free to discuss below. Okay, so obviously, just looking at this without anyone's interpretation, we have these shadows, we have a car, and I think this is like the first time we actually see a car on top of on top of a platform. I really don't see too much going on here unless we try and examine it further. Uh, okay, so if you look into the background, we have ourselves like the cardboard fortress. So this is definitely taking place at Peachtree Commons or at the border between Peachtree Commons and Candy Cove. Uh, we have this tank here. I don't know what this is. We have an RV located there as well. A car located there. I don't really know what he's really referencing. Um, I wonder how Fusion Matter got on to that locker through the wall. This is a massive breach of security in the cul-de-sac. Ah, maybe the resourceful residents are doing their part to contain monsters and there's a fusion spawn in there. They will be part of a mission. Okay. Yes, again, there's nothing much to go talk about this photo. Um, Well, that was pretty fast. Oh, actually, no. I do have something to go talk about. So like, what is Summerland? And the answer to that question can be found through a very quick Google search, or not really. FusionFall, Devon, Summerland. Okay, so there's actually a soundtrack for this one, and there's also a canceled legacy soundtrack played that was made by Dex. He's no longer part of the team. This is from 2015, so it's incredibly dated. So the answer, so Summerland are basically the areas are Peachtree Commons, Candy Cove, the Junkyard, Peach Creek Estates, as well as Foster's Home. So it's largely based at the suburbs in regarding to the location of this song. Um, and again, there's a updated Summerland version of it, and I would recommend you in your free time to definitely check out Dex 7322 song for Summerland. It's a very short listen, and probably I can probably just turn on the desktop audio temporarily because this is not copyrighted music. Okay, let's just it's a short enough soundtrack. Um, where is it? Some here it is. Okay, so yeah, the that's like the compare and contrast with the okay, so microphone is definitely working. Okay, good. Uh, yeah, I just muted my mic so you can listen to it. Okay, so here's the original one that Devin archived, and again, here's like the potential soundtrack that we can hear in FusionFall Legacy in terms of the Summerland. So in terms of Beach Street Commons, Foster's Home, Candy Cove. So we can hear these soundtracks in here. So Maddox Row Underman stated maybe they could do that house with tall grass from Ed, Ed and Eddie. The Foster song was really changed. At the beginning, there was like Foster, then it changes into something you don't know. Yeah. So yeah, I was reading the comments while it was being played, and it used like the original soundtrack uses a combination of Foster's Home as well as Ed, Ed and Eddie, which is again interesting. Something that that was unfortunately kind of sad here is people are asking like, when is Season Fall Legacy going to come out? And and like some guy stated that it was going to come out in like 2 weeks. Unfortunately, that never happened. And like 3+ years later, we're still waiting for technically we're waiting for Season Fall Legacy to go come out. Uh, anyways, uh, just say that's interesting, and not just that. I would recommend for you to go check out Dex's YouTube channel. He has a bunch of videos here regarding to former Legacy soundtracks, and I hope. Oh, here he is. Here's his actual face right here from 4 years ago. Um, yeah, but he has some former soundtracks here that I would recommend everyone to go try and check out. He even has like a character creation selection soundtrack, as well as for the future, Into the Void, Hook Slides Country Club. Oh, that's some sort of spoiler right there. But again, yeah, just check it out for your Fusion Fall immersion experience. Uh, okay, so Summerland residents training grounds. Yes, here we go. And we have ourselves a missing photo. Okay, that was fast. And that's that's unfortunate. How about loading it up on Firefox? That's okay. Here we go. It works on Firefox, but not on Chrome. Okay, here we have ourselves another very interesting photo, and again, all of them are interesting in their own way, outside of like the last one. But there's a lot of details that we can try and examine here. So you have yourself probably an updated trading ground area at Sector V, the past, and if we can just do a very before and after photo, maybe after this. So this is what it looks like for Legacy, and again, that reminder, this will dramatically change. What you see here will be completely different once Legacy will come out. So yeah, there's a definite makeover here. There's a few items here. What do we have ourselves? Like a teeter totter, practice targets, some wood. Nothing too much, but again, we definitely have some changes here. Uh, Pretty odd that the tree leaf is kind of going past the wall. But is there anything interesting here? I don't know. That's oh, actually, if you look kind of closer, I kind of see like a scamper's head in like the top of the scamper, right? And just let's go very. Hopefully, you can try and look for a okay. Fusion Fall, Sector V, training grounds. Hopefully, that's there. Oh, yeah, okay, here we have the before and after uh, thing right here. Um, Training grounds. Oh, here it is. Okay, we have that experience of mine. Uh, okay, so yeah, this was the before photo of what the this is the before photo of what it looks like right now, right? That we can see inside of the game, right? And here we have ourselves the after photo, which is a definite improvement that we see here. So let me just maybe, I don't know, 1280 by 720, and okay, so there's the before. We gotta expand the before. And here, right, we gotta get the after photo. Copy image. Oops, not that one. Here we have ourselves after photo. Okay, cool. So it's very different layout. The flag's still there. As you can see here, there's a fusion spawn right here, or no, a Terra fuser. There's like floating platforms right here. There's floating platforms. Again, this is bound to dramatically change. As you can see here, that was not there. Some more objects, just basically filled in the inside area with more items. Uh, and I'm not even sure if I'm looking at the right photo, right? Like, is this the training grounds area, or is this oh yeah, this is the training ground area. Uh, it says it right there, right? So I don't know. But yeah, there's definitely improvement here. Before photo, there's not a lot of stuff. After photo, there's some stuff included, such as like the floating platforms included there. Let me see if I can read this. This is not a picture of the day one, but I suppose it is relevant towards this. So here's devlog entry 24. This was posted by Dogon in 2015, so this definitely predates the picture of the day by like a year or so. And I feel like this deserves its own sort of video because devlog entries that deserves its own series. So I don't want to really touch too much on it, but if you want to research it up yourself, just type in development database FusionFall Legacy, and you would find a person. His name is Brian, and coincidentally enough, my name is also Brian in real life, and that's how you spell it as well. Okay, so what am I talking about? So trading ground. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. The sign's probably my favorite part of this picture. I can't wait to see people overanalyze every single item. Okay. On a more serious note, I believe that either fusion monsters or some NPCs will reside in this spot, possibly some K&D operatives who are working on the training ground or protecting it from infection. When you and your buddies want to practice, this is definitely funny. Yeah, but yeah. So I think what's gonna happen is just try and repeat what Lord is stating. Um, yeah, I think there's going to be some sort of K&D operatives here. Again, these are the K&D training grounds, so I think maybe there's going to be a mission or two, world mission, stating that Fuse is trying to go infect this area. We K&D operatives are trying to train here. However, they keep on messing it up. Can you try and defeat these ultramangle beetles or fusion spawns or whatever it is to go help up and clean the area? So it's going to be like a level 4 world mission, and would be pretty relatively easy to complete outside of obviously like the first 2 weeks or month when the game comes out. Okay, so I wonder how the IZ will work for this. Will there be infected zone for this? I want to put a bench there. And my, oops. One of this training ground is near to number 2 fusion layer, or so where the beetles are on the fusion spawners, or somewhere near like that. I'm very quickly reading the comments here to go see if there's anything interesting. Okay. But yeah, that's what I kind of predict. They're gonna place operatives there to try and make the place have some sort of world mission there, because I think it's Oh, and Darian Sarungai, welcome to the live stream. Thank you, and hello, welcome to the live stream, and thank you for liking my videos. Um, oh, and make sure to check out the Discord server too. Um, but yeah, like like here we have it inside of the past. There's like nothing much you can do here. In fact, there's like no mission related at all outside of probably some sort of guide mission, right? I think it's from like Ben or Dexter, like some sort of like thing here. There's there's some sort of item here that you have to go do for a guide mission, and outside of that, there's nothing much to go visit here. And I think it's kind of like a waste of property. And it would be interesting to go see what they're gonna do here for Legacy, uh, as well. Okay, so training grounds, 4th of July. Welcome back to the Olive Garden where you can have free breadsticks. It reminds me of this Reddit post I read. Uh, Reddit, Olive Garden, New York, ask Reddit. It's a very bizarre and very specific uh thing. It has 53,000 upvotes. Oh wow, that was 2 years ago. Redditors who have eaten at the Times Square Olive Garden. Why? It's a fun read. I don't really want to get too much into it, but I just found it was oddly specific that like 53,000 people upvoted it. Okay, so Prizzy has committed a crime and did not shrink the image. Okay, so here we have ourselves Major Glory. We have ourselves fireworks and some trees, some cliffs. And man, this I have a lot to go try and bring up with this. There's a lot of interesting things that they potentially use to go for this. Obviously, this is in nighttime, and as you can see here, there are stars in the background, right? You know, like it's 5:12 in the morning where I'm at right now. So if I had to look outside, I would probably see a lot of stars or like the incoming sunrise, right? So I kind of want to talk about the nighttime. I kind of want to talk about the fireworks, and yeah. So I think something that a lot of people would very much welcome inside of FusionFall Legacy would be for themselves to go implement a sort of day and night system where, for example, let's just say it's FusionFall time, right? Or like they just follow like green mean time, or like what's that central time that everyone what's Greenwich time? Greenwich time? Greenwich mean time. I think this is GMT. Is this the is this like the central? Okay, but imagine imagine if there was a day and night system. So if it's like 5:13 a.m. right now, uh, so it's like let's just say it's 5:13 a.m. where I'm live streaming right now, right? So if I were to be playing the game, it's actually nighttime, and not just that, I can see the stars in the background as well. And I think they can easily, well, I'm not sure if they can easily do this, but it's within the realm of possibility that they can implement this. I mean, they did it before with the Halloween update, right? Fusion Fall Halloween update where they turned the sky, and even back in the original game, this was 9 years ago. Here's a video from Prizzified. Again, video credit to him. And he made it look all all bright. And as you can see here, right, there's stars in the background. Here's Planet Fusion. Here's the moon, and I think it's very possible. It's within the realm of possibility that they can include this inside of the game. Again, it would be pretty cool, right? And not just that, they also have some sort of uh, system which Enderman stated maybe there could be a buff to the fusions in the night, right? They can add in some sort of buff to the fusions, or maybe some sort of like, like the monsters at Eternal Meadows or Eternal Vistas or Endsville, their power level is temporarily increased by like 10%, and they're much more of a menace to try and uh and battle, right? So again, they can they can do this. They can do this. They've done it before with the Halloween update. They can definitely include this inside a legacy, and I think a lot of people, if they were to go include this, it would make a lot. It would make them very happy, to have this night system implemented inside of the game. And from what I read, uh, I think okay, so we have these fireworks here. From the live stream, one of the people were saying, like they actually, like the developers actually went online and searched for fireworks and just implemented that into the background. So those fireworks are actually not part of the game. Uh, yeah. So here we have ourselves Major Glory. This was from the very first picture of the day. We had ourselves no holograms, right? And then Devin, on that very same thread, he provided this old photo showing Major Glory, and here he is with all of his glory uh, at 4th of July at night with the fireworks. Again, that's pretty cool, and I'm kind of curious where Major Glory is going to be located. I think Major Glory is going to be located somewhere in the Darklands, and I have good reason and evidence to go support that. Now, if you were to go do uh, the Dexter guide missions, the very early guide missions, I think it was like level 5 or level 6, Dexter, hopefully I can search this up right now, uh, FusionFall guide missions. FusionFall guide missions, Blossom Battle. Okay, here it is. The second mission that you would get from Blossom is this. Investigate Poke Oaks for clues to Major Glory's location. So proceed to Poke Oaks. Major Glory. Ah, great. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to YouTube to go find it. But it has interesting information. So YouTube, YouTube FusionFall, Major Worry guide mission. Oh, here's from 10 months ago. Okay. Where is it? So again, radio credit to Big Blast 181. You found Major Glory's Justice Friend's day planner. Let's look at his schedule. Alright, okay. Okay. He's gonna go back. Gotta go talk to Blossom. Okay, here we go. So mission summary. Interesting that you found Major Glory's day planner in Pokey Oaks. Looks like he was going on a mission to the Darklands when he disappeared. So, just using evidence from the game, this is like actual lore. Devin, the developer, stated that the lore is very inconsistent. But again, if I think, Major Glory is located somewhere in the Darklands, and if you never took Dexter as a guide, Dexter's main storyline is you trying to relocate heroes that went missing in action. So one of the very first heroes that Dexter tried looking for would have to be Major Glory. I kind of want to go try and tangent into world bosses because it also relates to Major Glory in a way. So FusionFall retro world bosses. I hopefully have an image here. Here it is. I actually made this image. I made this image, so I'm really glad this is here, and it's no longer being misused. Oh, and also my image is also here as well. I have this alt account which has the characters, but these are these are the future world bosses that we're gonna go see later down the line for FusionFall Retro in the future. And I suppose people that are watching this in the distant future, I'm hoping you can give me your comments on how these world bosses are going to be like, especially the most anticipated one, Gatekeeper. But I bring this up because of this character. His name is called Injustice Foe, and uh, from what from the forums, from what Devin has stated on the forums, I believe he stated that the Injustice Foe is actually the combination of the Justice Friends. So who are the Justice Friends? So again, for the people who don't know who they are, because not everyone has a encyclopedic knowledge of Cartoon Network, Justice Friends, Dexter, Wiki. So these are the Justice Friends, and in this, I actually really love this as well. So here's Major Glory, here's Kronks, and here is Valhallen, and so, so obviously these are direct references or inspirations from Marvel Comics, and this is actually very significant in a way because Genndy Tartakovsky, the person behind Dexter's Laboratory, as well as for Samurai Jack and a bunch of other stuff, uh, he's a huge fan of Marvel. And here's some other photos. Here we have like Living Bullet, which is a direct reference to Iron Man. I think this guy right here is a direct reference to Reed Richards. This one, White Tiger, I think that's his name, is a direct reference to Black Panther. Uh, and yeah, but anyways, uh, what was I talking about? Where's the photo? Yeah, so Injustice Foe is is the amalgamation of Major Glory as well as Kronks. Kronks is basically the purple version of Hulk as well as Van Halen. So uh, once this future world boss is going to be implemented for FusionFall Retro, I believe the most likely location for him would have to be at the Darklands because that's where Major Glory went missing, according to the mission Major Worry, the second guide mission from Blossom slash Dexter. So that would be pretty interesting. I kind of want to make a video about the speculation of world bosses. It's pretty interesting. Anyways, what was I talking about? Let's close these tabs. Close these tabs right here. Close this one right here. And let's go back onto topic with, yeah. So, that's a lot of stuff. This is actually, I have a lot of stuff to go say about this. So again, okay, we already talked about the Knight system, which they can implement inside of Legacy. We talked about Major Glory and his potential location, which is probably going to be the Darklands. We talked about the Injustice Foe, that future world boss that we're going to have. So another thing that I want to go try and talk about would have to be the implementation of weather. So if they ever do implement a sort of night and day system in FusionFall Legacy, I think it would be really cool if, again, if they can have some sort of weather system. Now, this is actually not new. This was actually done in the alpha version of FusionFall. So FusionFall Alpha, which was like presented in the Comic-Con, it actually had rain featured inside of it. So video credit to this guy. This is from 2008. This is alpha version. There's been a lot of significant changes for this one. Just hugely massive changes. I'm not even sure this is the right video, but it's interesting footage nonetheless. I know there's only two. No, there's only two videos. Hopefully we have ourselves the photo. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I can't find it right now. FusionFall Comic Con. But basically, what I was trying to go show you is that there was that they actually had rain inside of FusionFall. Now, Larry, Okay, so let's look into Larry, and here's a photo of SpongeBob, which is another very interesting thing to go try and talk about. So we have ourselves Larry. Whoops, come on, Larry. Okay, living like Larry. Okay, so um, I know he has an unlisted video for it, but don't worry, I actually have it downloaded. 4K video downloader. Um, it's actually a unlisted video, so you can't really access it unless you know where to go look for. So here we have ourselves this FusionFall Legacy video. Um, I'll install the updates later. Open link in browser, and if you want to go try and access it, here's the share button, and just pause the live stream and go type out the link for yourself. Yeah, just go pause the live stream. So, anyways, here we have ourselves the Larry 3000 Nano, and if you look closely, there's rain in the background, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do include rain in Fusion Fall Legacy. In the alpha version of not retro but original OG Fusion Fall, there was rain. So again, it would be pretty cool if there was a night system for Fusion Fall Legacy, as well as a rain system, as well as maybe a combination of both, but not just rain itself, but it would be pretty cool if there was some sort of, for example, uh, mm, snow. So like if you can remember the Christmas event where it was snowing, and for the people who weren't there, uh, here's one from the Fusion Fall universe. Okay, here we have our Ice Titans. Um, it's too short for me to go provide any footage. Here's XPC Gamers video on it. Nope. I need a longer video. Uh, here's a 22-minute video from my dear friend Plants. Uh, but yeah, there was snow inside of Fusion Fall, and I don't see snow here in this video, but that's very odd. But yeah, there was snow. Here's Champ Dragon Fighter's video. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there's snow here. There's oh, there's snow inside of the Kinesis update. So again, like future spoiler warnings for the ones that don't know. There's going to be a Mount Whitehead, right? It's going to involve snow. So in the future, we can potentially see ourselves to have the revival of snow and rain and night in Fusion Fall Legacy. So again, these are not like minor changes, but these are quite significant, and it would be pretty cool if like in terms of whether there was some sort of way to, like, for example, increase the stats of the monsters, right? Or maybe at a certain time of the day, a certain monster appears only at night that you can go grind for, right? Uh, okay, so going back into the Major Glory one, we haven't really even read the things here. Oh my gosh. America. Okay, here's something interesting. Okay, so we already have these items inside of the game. Uh, well, not yeah, these items exist. I'm not sure why he's including the Ruby Angel leggings pants, but the hat exists. We have the Major Glory hoverboard. Um, okay, so yeah, we had a lot to go talk about this particular photo. Um, the Powerpuff Girl house. Okay, how long have I been live streaming? It's been 2 hours and 9 minutes. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a mini break. I'm going to drink some water, and so I can go hydrate my throat. So yeah, I will be right back for a few minutes. Uh, and while I'm doing that, please leave a like, join the Discord server, check out the Universal Item Guide, and yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I won't be gone too long. Okay, I'm back from my water break. My internal body feels cold because there's cold liquid inside of my system. Okay, so we have ourselves the Powerpuff Girl House, June 29, 2016. So, who would have guessed that the Powerpuff Girls live just one neighborhood away from the Sector V treehouse? Okay. So, I'm not exactly sure what's oh, okay. There's a change here. So something about me in real life is that I'm is that I'm not well known to be the guy uh who's into details. Like for example, I will notice that you got a haircut after 2 weeks. You got that haircut. Um. Okay, so what's interesting here is obviously the Sector V's well, there's obviously Sector V treehouse in the background. Uh, I remember from the last live stream, one of the members were stating that, man, my body is cold from the water. Uh, I remember one of the people that was inside of the previous live stream. They were stating that the developers only increased like the render distance. So like the Sector V treehouse is still exactly this where it is. It's just that it's just being shown. I'm not exactly sure what's the difference here. So maybe someone in the forums will give us some insight to what exactly changed. Seeing how close they are, it makes me think Sector V will occasionally spy on them to make sure the girls aren't using their powers to support the teenage agenda. Okay, yeah. This was brought up recently on the forums. It was brought up recently on the retro forums. Where is it? Is it on the third page already? Here it is. September 1. Oh, that was 6 days ago. So we have an official list from Devin. Okay, yeah, this was August 30, 2019. And so the age of Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, they're 14. And this one kind of deserves its own video. Kind of want to make its own video here. So yeah, they're definitely inside of the teenager territory. And number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, they're 10, 10, 11, 12, and 12. So it's not like entirely ruled out. Like they can actually do that. So like the Powerpuff Girls are 14, so that qualifies them to go join the teenage organization, an enemy of the KND. And Enderman stated, maybe this time Dexter will have better rewards as a guide. Yeah, you know, like one of my biggest problems with Dexter as a guide would have to be the quality of his guide items. Oh man. Ooh, I feel like I gotta go run. I'm still feeling cold. Okay, so like I think just for the sake of saving a lot of time, I think what the legacy developers are going to do, and again, I'm not part of the staff, I'm just speculating, is that the guide items are going to exactly be the same. So like, and as well as like the order of these guide items as well. Uh, let's go open up all of these sets. Fourth set, and fun fact: there's about 150 guide items inside of the game, including the ones from Computerist. So, so like this is what I think what's gonna happen to like the guide sets. It's gonna for Legacy. It's gonna be exactly the same, just so they can save time. At the very most, what they're going to do is that they're going to make small modifications to the overall design of these outfits. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to change. I mean, like, I'm pretty fine with what these outfits looks like, because, like, here's a direct reference from Dexter with his dodgeball. And for the ones who don't know what it's referencing, it's a very famous episode, Dexter's dodgeball thing. He was had that robot, Dexter Dogsball robot. Here it is. Yeah, this one right here. Dexter's. Oh wow, that. I remember this one right here. Uh, well, it also had that as well. Um, referencing to this outfit, and I always thought that was really cool that they added that inside of the game. Uh, this one's okay. It has Blossom, which makes sense because Blossom's your guide. Dex, the Grim Reaper outfit makes sense because you know Grim Reaper was your guide. Samurai Jack. I actually like this one because I'm a huge fan of Samurai Jack, so more Samurai Jack representation, the better. Uh, the, the set that I dislike from Dexter would have to be the Dexstar one. It doesn't really have any sort of purpose. The one that I do like though would have to be the Puppet Pal Bonk Stick, but the rest of the set seems kind of outplaced. Like I'm not sure exactly what it's referencing, unless maybe I can do a very quick research for it right now. Dexstar, Dexter's laboratory. Like what is it referencing? Um, at the top of my Google search, I can't really find anything. But yeah, this is the set that I okay, yeah, so the sixth set from Dexter, as well as the fifth set, they both suck. But like the Space Jack, Skeleton, Blossom, and the Dodgeball one, they're all quality. But it's just like the last two that I'm not a huge fan of, outside of the Samurai Katana as well as the Puppet Pal Bonk Stick. I think what they could do to improve the outfit for Dexter would have, in terms of legacies for themselves, to actually give out the the armor that Samurai Jack wears inside of the game. And maybe if you want to be a real do some real fan service, uh, if you want to do some real fan service, uh, yeah, so like they include this very simple outfit for Samurai Jack, right? And I think a lot of people would be very happy about that, especially since that Samurai Jack is one of the more popular uh, shows on Cartoon Network. I mean, it's so popular that it actually got revived via Adult Swim. And I think if they wanted to go through this even further, Samurai Jack season 5. I think if they wanted to go with this even further, uh, where's a better outfit? Here we go. I think if they wanted to go with this further, right? Instead of this outfit right here, I think it'd be a lot cooler if they could use this outfit instead, and I think a lot of people would like that as well. It also has its own Japanese mask as well. There's a photo for it, but it will make a lot of people happy, as well as giving out some sort of vehicle that mimics this sort of style. And if they ever do decide that, like, let's just say that it's not this outfit, right? That's going to be replaced, but later down in the road. So like, I know for a fact there's going to be more levels in Fusion Fall Legacy. So maybe in like, in the 40s level or 50s level, they're going to go give out this set, which would be kind of odd in a way because like, if they give this out, if they gave out a samurai set and they're gonna give out another samurai set, like that's kind of like repetitive. So I think for Legacy, they should just scrap this set completely and just make it some sort of grindable item, and just have this set from Samurai Jack be the one to go replace it, and or just use the original outfit as well. And for like the guide weapon from Samurai Jack, oh, this is really nice. Oh, here's his mask. You can wear that as a mask, or in terms of like glasses, have that as a have his vehicle as a vehicle. And here we have ourselves him using a pistol. So we actually have that precedent to include this inside of the game, like an actual freaking gun, as well as like an actual knife, and as well as this machine gun, which can be a shatter gun inside of the game, which again a lot of people would love. Uh, anyways, uh, let's go close these tabs. Um, so yeah, Enderman stating maybe the Rave Samurai Jack outfit. Maybe they could add a girl Aku dress for girls as a grindable item. Remember when Aku fooled Jack as a girl? Yeah, I remember that episode. Um, what's the name? Samurai Jack. Eva. Was it Ava? Ava. Samurai Jack. Aku as a woman. Ikra, yes, Ikra. This was actually from season 1, and I remember there was this one episode, I think it was like from season 3 or season 4, where Samurai Jack had to uh, where Samurai Jack had to Samurai Jack had to fight Aku in human form. And when I was watching that for the first time, I honestly thought that when when Jack asked him to be in human form, he was actually referring to Ikra, his Aku's female humanoid form. But it's a good thing that you brought up Ikra's outfit, because it also does definitely remind me of Ashi from Samurai Jack season 5, and I think an item said that a lot of people would like to have would have to be this outfit right here, which Ashi. Oh, there's 4 looks, or multiple looks. Now here's Ashi's look right here, and I think a lot of female characters would definitely like this. So it's oh, I know for a fact that like the vast majority of items are no longer going to be gender locked, so we can even see male players wear this as an item. Uh, and I think a lot of people who are Samurai Jack fans would definitely like this to be included inside FusionFall Legacy. Maybe not as a guide item, but maybe as some sort of higher level grindable item that we can try and get. Um. Anyways, that was super out of tangent, but it's still relevant in the world of Cartoon Network. Um. Okay, here we have ourselves the old photo, and here we have ourselves the new photo of, okay, so we're gonna have to create like a 1920 by 1080 photo. Okay, here's the old one, and here is the new one. So the left one is the one that we have right now, and the right one is what we can expect to see in Legacy. So the door is pretty much the same. The wall is pretty much the same. What's different here is like that bus stop is no longer there, I believe. The garage door is pretty much the same. What's a little subtle difference here would have to be this one right here compared to this one right here. That has slightly changed. This one, it's kind of glowing up, but this one it's kind of like just a solid green, solid pink, and solid blue. I'm not really sure much of a significant change of what's entirely going on here, but again, what's going on here is that there's a Sector V treehouse from behind, and I mentioned this earlier, right? So like the Powerpuff Girls are 14, and the K&D they're 10 and 11. So there's like the K&D are trying to keep an eye on the Powerpuff Girls because they have superpowers and they are teenagers. Okay, so it's kind of disappointing. Okay, yeah, there's another difference. It's very subtle. Yeah, so yeah, the garage door did change. So there's like two parallel lines here on the left side, and on the right side, or at least from this angle, I only see one parallel line here that's purplish, and this one right here, this blue box, it's now changed into like a violet box. So yeah, no, it'd be pretty cool if you can actually go inside of these houses. Um, okay, let's look into the rest of these pages. There's a Terrafuser in the background. Yes, that's true. There's a Terrafuser. There, I'm not sure if that was always there. There's a lawnmower. There's a lawnmower. This one didn't have a lawnmower. It's just very subtle details. I'm not sure if it has any sort of significant difference, but just some cosmetic design. Uh, and I see the playground is behind there with probably a bunch of fusions to defeat. But now the treehouse is closer to their house. A couple of things I got from this picture. They hide the garage of the house. The hill south is closer to Sector V than north. Blossom can fly from Sector V to her home. Unlikely, but it would be cool. Um, so now we know that the Powerpuff Girl house is even closer to the K&D treehouse, and probably Blossom is watching over the house while she's at the K&D treehouse helping newcomers. There's to be missions for the house like if Bubbles, Blossom, Buttercup, Belladonna, and Professor Utonium. This would let you go back to the house each time. Maybe they might need something from the house, like getting Blossom's test at the house or Bubbles' stuffed animal. Okay, so some sort of relatively easy missions that we can do for the Powerpuff Girls and friends and family. It's alright. It's a pretty decent idea. Okay, let's go to page 3. Just to clarify, fusion layers are still a thing. As stated, they won't be boring, drab caves all the time. So okay, that's fantastic. I would really like a Nurgle outfit from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, or a Nurgle Junior outfit with a scarf. Yeah, so Enderman, I there actually is a Nurgle outfit. It was released during the birthday bash. Uh, it's birthday bash of 2019. Here's the Nurgle suit. The prices are out of date. I have to go adjust this later. But yeah, the Nurgle outfit does exist. Not just that, the Nurgle Junior glasses also exist as well. It's located right here. All level 6 monsters, ultra rare, drop it. So it's definitely inside of the game. You can get this inside of the game right now. There's also the Nurgle tentacles as well. It's a Egger item, which you can also get somewhere, I think at Pokey Oaks, north or south. Uh, anyways, um, but this is actually something to go look forward to. I know this is not relating to like the photo, but Devin stated that the caves that the fusion layers won't entirely just be boring. Uh, okay, so is this like a major complaint that a lot of people have with FusionFall with what we have right now? So like, you know, when you enter inside of a fusion layer, it's just a variation of like 3 or 4 layers, fusion layers, where you're inside of a cave. And I think something to really look forward to for FusionFall Legacy would have to be like how the developers are going to design each and every layer. Maybe not each and every layer, but have just a bit more variety. Because, you know, for example, if you can remember the missions at Marquis Row Infected Zone, there's a thing called like Fusion Buttercups or Fusion Belladonna's Epic Lair, and you would think that when you go inside, right, it would have some sort of interesting props that would be different, but like when you go inside, unfortunately, it's anticlimactic, and it's just another variation of those caves. So again, it's something to go try and look forward to in Fusion Fall Legacy. Um, yeah, definitely. You definitely need to go back into the game. I recommend checking out the Discord server, Enderman. We're very friendly to veterans and beginners and everyone else in between. Uh, and not just that. Uh, if you've been gone for a while, regarding to the Universal Item Guide, I have a friend who has this thing called the Patch Notes Archive, or something that I also would like to go call What Did I Miss When I Was Gone? Okay, that's good. Thank you for joining the Discord server. If you know anyone else, please invite them. Um, okay, so yeah, it will be interesting to have that. So like when we, for example, enter Fusion Belladonna's lair, Fusion Belladonna's epic lair, or Fusion Ace's epic lair at City Point, I think it would be really cool if there was some sort of unique design for it. Um, a new map is totally gonna mess with my head. I'm still super used to the old map as well. I've gotten lost quite easily. Okay, so let's go to the next photo. I'm likely going to go live stream for 3 hours and 30 minutes. So I'm predicting that we're gonna stop here at page 6, probably halfway through, or hopefully get all of page 6 done. So I'm under the assumption, going through all of these pick of the days, it's going to take a heck of a long time. Uh, Definitely gonna take much more than much more than 11 hours, because there's more than 200 photos to go look at. Okay, so here we have something very significant as well, and here we have a very rare post from the Top Hat Matt or Wiki staff or Fusion. I'm part of the Discord server, FusionFall Wiki Discord server. So here we have ourselves uh, the tar pits, and what's significant here would have to be, there's tar. There's tar, there's dinosaur stuff here, and let's just very quickly read the description for this picture of the day. Any prehistoric creatures that wander from Forsaken Valley through Devil's Canyon get stuck in the Nowhere Tar Pit. So this is a potential brand new area that's going to be included in FusionFall Legacy. So if this is true, what this means is that there's going to be new areas not just beyond the Darklands, but there's going to be brand new areas in the suburbs, not just the suburbs, but also for downtown, not just for downtown, but also for the wild. So we have this potential sneak peek of a brand new area that we can see in FusionFall Legacy. And again, there's that reminder, everything that you see here is bound to dramatically change. So just again, just my first impression, you see these we see this, we see the most obvious thing is would have to be the dinosaur bones. I'm kind of wondering why there's dinosaur bones here. So what is tar? So tar is actually I don't really know what tar is. Let's just let's go to Wikipedia and very quickly learn what tar is. Tar wiki. Okay, so no. So tar is a dark brown or black viscous liquid of hydrocarbons and free carbon obtained from a wide variety of organic materials through destructive distillation. Tar can be produced from coal, wood, petroleum, or peat. What is peat? an accumulation of partially decayed vegetation or organic matter. Production and trade in pine-derived tar was a major contributor in the economies of Northern Europe and colonial America. Its main use was in preserving wooden sailing vessels against rot. Largest user was the Royal Navy of the United Kingdom. The demand for tar declined with the advent of iron and steel ships. It is hot to the touch and can cause burns if one comes in contact with the substance. Tar-like products can also be produced from other forms of organic matter, such as peat. Mineral products resembling tar can be produced from fossil hydrocarbons, such as petroleum. Coal tar is produced from coal as a byproduct of coke production. So, okay, that's interesting. So it's this stuff. This is what it looks like. That's also produced from plant life. That's interesting. Okay, so and just going back into the photo, uh, this is tar. Here's a bunch of tar. Does it actually slow you down? Does tar have that property? Oh, tar like the thing used to make roads, according to Enderman. So again, I don't really know much about tar, but like I'm under the assumption this is something kind of like quicksand, or probably something that would make you slow down as an individual. So I think another kind of pet peeve of mine inside of FusionFall Retro as well as the original would have to be the fact that if you were to go step on a volcano, if you were to go step on a pile of of flaming fire, right? You're not going to take any damage. Or if you're to if you're to fall from an incredible height, you're not going to die or receive some sort of significant damage. Uh, so what I mean, hopefully I have that photo on FusionFall Phoenix Wings. I have it's on images. Yeah, there it is. So I have okay. So here's this image I have. How to get Phoenix Wings. I love this photo right here. It's one of my second most viewed video. Has how many likes does it have? Uh, videos. Most popular. I haven't checked in a while. Yeah, it's my most. Oh, 2.9K views, and it has 77 likes and 2 dislikes, and 50 comments. Wow, that's very significant. Oh, Baro. Wish I could stay and watch more, buddy, but I'm pooped and need some sleep. Thanks again for the ultra rares checklist. Really enjoy it. Have fun and wishing you the very best. Thank you, man, for watching. You can always watch this later once I'm done. I'm gonna do more in the future. If you have a Discord, please check it out. But thank you for watching, man. I do appreciate it. But anyway, just going back into like that kind of pet peeve of mine. So like here's Plumber Infinity literally on top of a volcano in the center of a volcano with explosives with like the explosive force from the volcano, and yet Plumber Infinity is not taking any sort of damage at all. It's not taking any sort of burn damage at all, and it just makes a lot of provocative uh, nonsense nonsense to why he's not taking any damage. Uh, so I think something that I think something that would make a lot of sense is that if you were to go on a volcano, if you're to go touch fire, you're gonna go receive damage. Similar to the same amount of damage as like when you're touching fusion matter, right? So instead of like that fusion matter icon of that like green death skull, it's just like a fire icon as well. So Enderman stated, fun fact, it is rare to see a tar drop, and there was a lie that literally showed the tar drop for 3 years. Actually, oh yes, I remember this thing. I was reading this from Quora, tar drop, MIT, I think, tar drop MIT. Here it is. We've watched this droplet for 91 years, but nobody's ever seen it happen. This thing is actually cursed. Uh, But here's a video from the University of Queensland, Australia, 2015. So tar drops incredibly slowly. July 2012 is a 3-year date, and I suppose the experiment for this was to just try and demonstrate that tar is a liquid. It's just an incredibly very slow liquid. Um, Ninth drop touchdown on 12th April 2014. So this is very interesting. Uh, it's very slow. So, anyways, I kind of bring up this point because, like, when I see like the tar field here at this connection, I feel like if you were to go on this tar, this is something you should have some like you used to be snared. By snared, used to be slowed down. Used to be slowed down and have a significant disadvantage with the surrounding monsters. Now, obviously, something that's missing here would be the monsters, right? So, like, I would imagine maybe there's some sort of lizards, or, for example, the more obvious one would be the Tar Titan, or their cousins, FusionFall monsters. FusionFall monsters. Tar Titan. Here's a Tar Titan. So here we have ourselves the Tar Titan. He's located at the fire swamps, and the description is the Titan feeds off of tar that oozes from the ground in the fire swamps. His thick cell makes him completely fireproof, and unfortunately for you, provides excellent protection against pretty much everything else too. So maybe it can also stop you from jumping. That's a good idea as well. And let's just say that if you were to bring out your run nano, right? So like walking speed is 600. If you bring out your running nano without gumball, it brings you to 800. And with gumball, it's 840. So maybe if you're inside of the tar, right? So your walking speed now becomes halved. So from 600 to 300. And if you bring out your running nano, it only it it only increases it slightly. And if you want to just avoid the tar completely, you just take out your vehicle, right, and be much more sensible like that. Uh, so just something that I can a monster that would make obvious sense here would have to be a cousin of the Tar Titan, because obviously it has the word tar inside of it, right? So again, this photo is missing monsters, and I would imagine there's going to be Tar Titans or their cousins roaming around this area, if not inside of like the literal tar, right? And not just the tar titan, there's probably going to be some other monsters here. There's dinosaurs here, so I would imagine there's going to be some sort of dinosaur monsters inside of the game. And you know, for a fact, we already have those dinosaurs. So we might have like the Freakosaurus Rex, but not just the Freakosaurus Rex, but a recolor of the Freakosaurus Rex. So like, you know, the Freakosaurus Rex, they're red, right? So maybe they can be recolored into green, maybe they can be recolored into black, just to go match the overall theme of this area. So we have the Tar Titan, like a recolored version of the Creeposaurus Rex, and probably some sort of recoloring of the Lizard King or Queen, right? Um, and obviously there's a bridge here. So again, that's another thing that's it's kind of like a subtle detail. So obviously, there's like a boat here, or like this is like this is a bone, or like a connection from this fossil bone right here as well. It's not a fossil bone. It's just a bone. But what is it? What was I gonna say? Uh, what am I gonna say? I'm having a brain fart. Uh, hmm. Oh, okay. No. That's just an extra bone here. I thought it looked like a stand. Um. Hmm. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. So we have trees here. We have terrafuses here. Uh, this definitely looks like a place that's going to be located somewhere in the Darklands. Probably some sort of connection between Forsaken Valley and, you know, trying to connect the two regions, the Wilds and Forsaken Valley. Let's go close this. Um, okay. Forsaken Valley. So the Darklands are connected to the main continent now, huh? And also the fact that nowhere has tar pits somewhere probably means the area is huge this time around. Not that it wasn't before, but I'm talking you'll literally be stuck in the middle of nowhere big. Uh, Either that or it's a Pangea situation, or maybe the two islands are connected to each other with a very long bridge. But it's really cool to see something new from FusionFall Legacy. But aren't the Darklands supposed to be ancient Japan? Since Samurai Jack is there with Aku and such. I don't think it's ancient Japan, the Darklands. Uh, so a lot of people are tar is hot and sticky and hurts real bad when you hop in it. So hop in. So maybe uh, over analyzing it, but again, like going back into like the fire pits, being on top of a literal volcano and not having damage from it, it would be cool if you can have some sort of damage if you engage with the tar. Uh, Okay, here's Devin confirming that the Darklands are not even inside of ancient Japan. Think of it more like land untouched by time, with dinosaurs and all that. Aku is using the Darklands as his base, and Samurai Jack has come after him. Oh, I didn't know that. So those towers and Hunter's Crest and the door at the precipice are from, like, Indians and such? Cavemen. Oh, okay. But a door that huge, ancient Chinese? Probably because the last place Fuse would look would be right under his nose. Is this some sort of... Hey, this is very clever. So Emperor Ectosok tilted the photo. It definitely looks like a definite heart shaped. Okay, so let's try and do that right now. Oh, I noticed it. I can now you can't unsee it anymore. It looks like a literal heart. Let's try and rotate it. Rotate 180. Nope, not that one. Layers, horizontal. Nope. Gosh. Rotate. Nope. That's the wrong one. Nope. Here we go. Okay, this is a really bad rotation. Uh, Rotate clockwise. There we go. Here's the rotations. Yeah, it definitely does look like a heart. When you look at it at a different angle. So that was a good eye, Emperor Ectosok. Uh, it's obviously a big horse foot. Precision Universe lore video basically flat out said that you'd be going through nowhere to get to the Darklands. Okay, I remember what I was gonna go say now. Okay, let me just see if there's anything interesting here. Alright, so FusionFall maps. Okay, here are the areas. Alright. Okay, so a major complaint that, well, not major, but something that fans have noticed would have to be the size of nowhere and the amount of nothingness for it. Now, it makes sense because it is called nowhere, but I think it's not just one map. It's actually, uh, I would really like to pilot Candybeard's ship. I don't think that's possible, but anyway, so like nowhere, there's a lot of nothingness to there. So probably if they're going to go add in the tar pits, it's probably going to be somewhere around here, or maybe they're gonna have some sort of bridge or like a bunch of areas, like 4 areas here or 2 areas here, or just maybe just stick with like the teleportation to the catacombs. But they're gonna have some, probably gonna have some way to go link nowhere with the catacombs via the tar pits, and maybe up or down. It's gonna be the connection towards the Darklands. Or maybe the tar pits is not even an area by itself. It's just an extension of nowhere. The tar pits is just somewhere inside of nowhere, just to try and add in more content within the area, which is kind of ironic because it is nowhere, which is in a way you don't want to have too much there as well. Alright, so Darklands on mainland confirmed. I need to rewrite my whole fanfiction. Alright, okay. Nowhere tar pits. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, so nowhere. Here's more photos of nowhere. So here we have July 11, 2016. So special announcement for the next 2 weeks. The pick of the day will be focusing on nowhere on particulars. So something that we can easily see here. Would have to be courage is inside of there. I don't think that's permanent, but oh, actually, if you can look, let's go. Okay, we're getting a lot of tabs here. Let's go close all of these tabs. So let's using our analysis abilities. Okay, we have dead stuff here. This is newly made. That was never there before. And what we have right here, would have to be that giant robot found in the catacomb. That wasn't there before. We also have this very giant tower that wasn't there before as well. This is a building from nuclear plant. We have cactus here. I don't think that was there before. Airplane ship. Now, what's interesting here is that there's an airplane here, another airplane here. There's probably a car here, and then there's just a bunch of debris within the vortex. And I really like how they did that here, because we have this giant vortex, right? Yet there's nothing much relating to it. And I think I kind of recall, like, while you were doing the missions in like the mid-20s, there was no reference to the vortex at all. And it's kind of disappointing because it looks really cool just to go try and look at, right? And it's just unfortunate that there was no reference for it. And I really like how it just shows how powerful it is. So we have ourselves this airplane here, right? Then we have ourselves another airplane. So it just shows you how powerful this vortex is, that it's capable of carrying something that's many tons in weight, right? So okay. And another thing to try and to also realize is that if this is also here, think about infected zone racing, right? There's very likely going to be, well, 100% that there's going to be pods located at these at this, and probably you see this tall tower here, right? Probably there's going to be a jump pad that's going to allow you to be on this vortex, and there's going to be a mission relating towards this. And again, it would be really cool if these flying airplanes are like literally flying or floating. It's actually rotating with the vortex as well, so it's not stationary, it's moving along with it. And I think it would be really cool, especially with infected zone racing, when it comes to collecting those pods. And yeah, and here's like another detail that I kind of noticed as well. There's like this light here. There's a light. It's a green light. I'm not exactly sure what it's referencing. Enderman stating, and be like a non-fusion boss that could use some sort of traps and be like all creepy like in the cartoon with the spiders. Yeah. So we have courage, we have the vortex, we have this green light here, and we have that robot. More stuff added for nowhere. Let's go see what people stated in the forums. And it makes me kind of wonder, so like these comments are like from 2016, and they 100% they never thought that someone from the future 3 years from now are is going to read their comments. Uh, well, this game's going nowhere fast. Puns aside, no more triangles looking way more transversable than before, and you sneaky devs teasing us with a may or may not redone Courage. And yes, uh, spoilers, uh, Courage has been remodeled. Uh, okay, so Courage picture of the day. Okay, this is I can't find it here. Last nowhere pick. Okay, no, that's picture of the day. Retro dev blog. Uh, but yes, the Courage model definitely did get remodeled. So FusionFall Legacy Courage, and I think there's going to be a future picture of the day of it. So here's the remodel for Courage. Here's the former model, and here's the newer model here. Uh, there's a lot of stuff to go try and talk about. So let's just copy the image, open this up on Paint, and okay, so his tongue, his tail. Oh yeah, this is the new model. Okay, this is the old model. It's hard to okay, here's the new model, and here is the old model. Okay, so before and after. Okay, so we're looking at a difference. Okay, his nose has definitely been Courage definitely got a nose job. Um, the top part is no longer like a triangle. It's more flat, much more flat. What about his whiskers? His teeth, he definitely got some braces. A lot smaller. How about his feet? His hands, his 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 tail's definitely got a lot longer. His eyes, uh, they're a lot smaller. And his pupils are definitely smaller as well, obviously. Uh, his eyebrows, they've also changed as well. So yeah, so Courage definitely got a complete remodel. I always found it kind of odd how Courage looked inside of the game. It looked very creepy. Uh, okay, yeah, this is what the current Courage model. Oh, here's the very ugly Courage model, and I wouldn't be surprised if if in the future or FusionFall Retro that they're going to uh, use the legacy model uh, for Courage instead of this one, because this one it has all sorts of ugly inside of it. Uh, look, man, this looks really creepy. Looks really. It doesn't look like a dog. It looks like a person inside of a suit that is pretending to be a dog. Okay. Is that a resurrectum I see in the distance? Resurrectum. Where's the resurrectum? A Courage wannabe. I still see the green light from the Time Squad update. I got a notification. I'm gonna close the Discord one. Uh, Yeah, it would be pretty cool if we can have Eustace inside of the game. And I think Eustace is already announced inside of the game. I'm not sure about that, but hopefully the rest of the picture of the days is gonna try and confirm or deny of his existence. But I think it's pretty likely that Courage's owners Eustace. I forgot the female's name. Courage's cowardly dog family. Courage the cowardly dog. Wiki. Oh yeah, Muriel and Eustace Bag. So there's only three main characters. Who's your favorite Courage's cowardly dog? Of course. Why would you? That's very unfortunate that Eustace has more than double the amount of votes than Muriel. That's very unfortunate, but obviously Courage, man. Uh, okay, so yeah, I think it's very likely that we're gonna have Muriel and Eustace inside of Legacy because there's only as of right now we only have Courage, and that's the only Courage the Cowardly Dog representation in the game, and it's just very unfortunate. Just using the cartoon collection thing inside of the Universal Item Guide. I think something that's very unfortunate as well is that there's very little representation with Courage the Cowardly Dog. That it's actually pathetic. Uh, there's only one item, at least to my knowledge, unless someone can, uh, at least someone can update me with this knowledge. There's only one item of representation for Courage the Cowardly Dog. Uh, very unfortunate. Uh, but I think maybe if Muriel and Eustace are to be added in FusionFall Legacy, I think probably they're gonna be at Nowhere, or probably like that Tar Pits area, or probably the Nowhere Triangle, or probably at the Catacombs, somewhere around there. Uh, so that would be pretty cool. All right, let's go back to this. Okay, that's only the second page. Yeah, I could see Muriel or Eustace there, but not both. I think Muriel is gonna stay at home, trying to tend with Courage, or maybe Muriel and Eustace are lost because of Fuse. Okay, park. Okay, we have ourselves a relatively simple photo here. It's just a park, and this looks like it's something from the suburbs. And for some reason, my video, it's thinking that I'm gone. Ooh, Super Metroid. Uh, and again, for the people that are just tuning in, there's no background music because of copyright concerns. Uh, anyway, so what a lovely day for a walk in the park. If you can ignore the loud metallic banging coming from underground. Okay, that's oddly specific. So banging from underground. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have different trees here. We have a autumn leaf tree on the right side. We have a lake there with a log. We have patches of grass. We have shadows here, updated textures. So that's a general theme of what's going on. There's nothing really much here. Uh, this is probably at the suburbs, or this is probably going to be at the wilds. Think of like the entrance for like Prickly Pines. Okay. There's definitely a new area way to go, devs. What a cool park. Oh, this guy's part of a prison server. Tan's here as well. Asphalt free trying to up an ancient evil. Oh my goodness. I think something I that a lot of people would really want to go see would have to be the monster or that ancient evil, the Fisher fusion fall. Would have to be that ancient evil. Oh, here's some concept art of the game. Let's read. Let's go read this. An ancient beast deep in the future. Okay. Okay, this is out of date. There's currently an empty fusion portal in the Fisher. This was actually replaced with Fusion Flapjack. Uh, so none of this is true. Oh, Fusion Flapjack's lair is there. Um, okay, so yeah, just going back here, I think it'd be really cool. Oh, here's some guy who managed to climb the very top of the Fisher. Uh, but yeah, I think it'd be really cool if we can actually see what this monster is, or not just that, but have like much more information of what this ancient evil is. Oh, here's a very nice drawing of fan art of this. Really nice. Uh, must have taken this person several hours, more than 5 hours to go try and create. Uh, go close this tab here. But yeah, it would be really cool if we can go there. And you know, since we're talking about the Fisher, I don't think it's gonna come up in the distant future. Uh, is that it's possible? Okay, as of right now, it's not possible to go climb the Fisher, but it is possible in the past. Not with hacking, but with like using game mechanics from the game, climbing. So I have a friend. Where is he? Fisher Mandark. Uh, he had a video for it. Uh, FusionFall climbing the Fisher. Okay, I can't find the video. Uh, yeah, it's under this guy's YouTube channel. Uh, Fisher. Did he delete the video? Or I'm just having like that Mandela effect, and I just always thought he had that video. Uh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have the video. That's unfortunate. But oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, it was possible to climb the Fisher. This was way back in 2011, and yeah, here he is using the glide and rocket mechanic. No hacks needed. Uh, really cool, and I think it would be really cool if we can actually go to the top of the Fisher and have some sort of missions relating to it. And it's also really beautiful when you're at the very top because you can get to go see the spiral as well. So again, video credit to Man, Dark, Lazo, Hopkins. Really cool. It's not available for you to go climb at the time of this live stream, but yeah, it was once possible in the past with the availability of gliding. Rex Cypher, do you have your PC in tablet mode? Looks strange in my opinion. Even if it's not a tablet, it could still be set in that way. It's not in a tablet, it's just my PC. Okay. But looking under the ground. You guys think this is part of the Central Park section of downtown? Oh, maybe not even be part of suburbs or uh, the wilds. Maybe it's part of downtown. Oh, it's a good thing that you brought up regular show. So just I kind of want to go briefly talk about one member inside of that show. Regular show characters. So Benson. I think I remember reading the suggestion on the forums many years ago, and since regular show it takes place in the suburbs, right? And if they're gonna add in regular show members inside of Legacy, which they will, that's confirmed. It'd be cool if we can have like Benson as the fusion ringleader at the suburbs. So he's the guy commanding all of the fusions within the suburbs area, similar to how Fusion Courage, I believe, is the one responsible for leading the fusions at the Darklands. Uh, What if it's a new feature that allows certain fusion monsters to come out from the ground, such as what Tan said with the Asphalt Freaks, and you can detect their presence by hearing a faint metallic or rumbling sound coming from under you, and if you're close to the sound, it's possible you get attacked the minute the monster pops up. Okay, that's actually brilliant. Um, if it if I would like to eat some of the candy inside of Benson's head, it would count as cannibalism. So the definition of cannibalism is that if you eat your own species. Now, hopefully you and I are both humans, so if you were to eat the gumball inside or like the candy inside of Benson's head, it would not be considered cannibalism. However, if Benson were to eat his own candy, that's what's considered maybe self-pleasure. Uh, Makes you wonder if those candy is considered like part of his life force. Like if he has more candy, will he have like will he become smarter? So I actually really like the suggestion that Tan brought up, which Ecto Shock brought up as well. So like I think so it's confirmed that there's going to be some new mechanics for combat. It's not going to be too dramatic, but there are going to be new 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 mechanics inside of the game. So imagine those asphalt freaks, and for the ones that don't know what they are, FusionFall asphalt freaks. Um, Here it is. So the Asphalt Freak, the strongest and largest of the Asphalt family go absolutely crazy if they can't dig their drills into some fresh pavement. Their insatiable hunger is partly why the frisser is so deep. Okay. Okay. So I like that idea. So imagine you're at Townsville Park, right? You're at the Fisher area, and it looks like there's no monsters here, right? But the reality is, there's actually a whole bunch of asphalt freaks on the ground, and the only way you can detect them is if you have your headphones on, or probably some other system, because oftentimes people tend to just mute the game for yourself to go detect them. And or so oftentimes you might even be ambushed, and I think that would be a great idea if they include that. Maybe not just like the digging part, which is like unique to the Asphalt Freak, but also in terms of Fusion Fall monsters. What are some unique monsters that have their own relatively special abilities? So like, uh, okay, Jack Jerko Lantern. Okay, so like we have those Jerko Lanterns. We also have their cousins, uh, such as the Jocko Lantern, right? And they have their own unique animation when they attack you. When they attack you, they send out a pumpkin, right? And I remember during the original game, and probably for Fusion Fall Retro with the Halloween update, uh, every monster would throw pumpkins at you. Let me go bring up that footage. Fusion Fall Halloween update. Let's go bring up some OG footage from like 9 years ago. Radio credit to this dude from 2010. Oh well, this photo is very old. Um, Dracula. Oh, wow. Oh wow, I totally forgot about that. The fusion matter here turned orange. And I think that'd be really cool if they can actually bring that back. Oh, and the fusion layers turn into a different color as well. Yeah, oh, and oh, wow, the fusion spawns turn into a different color. Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised that the retro devs didn't do that. Because I was around during the Halloween update for the OG game, but I was like, uh, 9 or 10 years old. So that's really cool that they actually recolored the fusion spawns. Uh, and I think when they attacked you, uh, oh wow, Fuse's hair looks completely different. Well, I'm actually kind of surprised they weren't able to go do that for retro. But what was I talking about? So, like we have ourselves the Jack O' Lantern, which has its own unique animation, which throws pumpkins, right? And it just makes me wonder, like, how about like for example, the Baron Bloodsucker? So it doesn't have to go similarly to like the Asphalt Freak, where it digs underground to go attack you and like to go ambush and attack you, and but what makes the Baron Bloodsucker unique is that it actually has like some sort of leech ability, because that's what vampires do, right? They're supposed to suck the life force, the blood out of you. So the Baron is the king of the night sky and all things creepy. If you feel a chill run up on your spine, you can bet a Baron Bloodsucker is close by. So I always thought it was kind of like a missed opportunity that a lot of these monsters, such as the Baron Bloodsucker, doesn't have abilities or powers that are relating to it. Like, it's very unfortunate that the vast majority of these monsters only have their only ability is battery drain or like stun, and there's not a lot of variety in terms of powers. So I think for Fusion Fall Legacy, I think it'd be really cool if they can just add in that variety and make combat just a little bit harder. It doesn't have to be reserved for world bosses, right? Like the Sip Wrecker has Leech. What if the Baron Bloodsucker has Leech instead, or Leech as well, or maybe like uh, some sort of unique thing that the Dynamite Mouse can do is that it actually blows up if you don't kill it in time, and it deals significant damage to you, or maybe something interesting that the I don't know. Uh, mm, that the Swiss Killer can do is that it can actually swallow you and spit you out. Or the Alpha Arachnid, they actually have their own spider webs, and and they're all attracting. Yeah, like in the wilds, they have their own large, elaborate, beautiful, yet deadly spider webs. And if you're on it, you get the snare ability. That would be really cool, right? But I would imagine in terms of like development stuff, like people tend to forget the development staff is like less than 20 people, or like less than 10 people. So um, we can dream. We can dream as a community. Uh, anyways, um, oh wow, it's been 3 hours and 23 minutes. So I'm gonna make a timer for 7 minutes, and then roughly after that, I'm going to roughly end the live stream. Okay, so okay, there's the timer. All right, let's go back here. Okay. Uh, So we're gonna have ourselves one or like very likely just one photo left. Okay, and we have ourselves quite a mouthful of stuff to go talk about. Alien spacecraft crash into nowhere frequently. Evidently, there's a UFO magnet located somewhere under the desert. Okay, so let's go copy this image. There's a lot of stuff to go try and talk about here. And again, I'm not going to strictly end it after 7 minutes, but alright, okay, so we have this scanner, which was found in, if you can remember the Professor Utonium nano mission, you had to go click on a scanner. We have this another sacked agent container. Plants, mushrooms, plant of fusion. There's clouds in the background, and on the top right, there's something here. I'm not sure what that is. But again, these photos are bound to dramatically change. I remember this one right here. This one is the thing responsible for the for making the really twisted infected zone prevent it from getting to Forgotten Falls. So we have this mountain here, we have these clouds, and I think it'd be pretty cool if we can have the clouds kind of like also be animated as well. And obviously for the less intensive PCs, they have the option to go disable that. It'd be pretty cool if we can have those clouds just move along with us, and not only that, but cast its own shadow for immersion. This one kind of looks like a skull. This one right here looks kind of, I see like eyes right here. So the sacked thing, it's kind of broken. There's fusion matter leaking out outside of the containment thing. This is definitely in the wilds. I would probably imagine like somewhere at Really Twisted Forest. Time Squad confirmed? That's kind of odd. Someone crash landed? Or is this a spaceship? It's not Time Squad because Time Squad, they're people from Earth. They don't crash land, they teleport through space and time. Maybe it's a ship that was controlled by the chickens from outer space. Yes, that's a possible answer. Seems to be just a generic ship to me. Ah, yes. Oh, here's the... We saw this from the very first picture of the day, and it comes back here. So maybe we can have the chicken come back into FusionFall, but actually have his ship crash land here somewhere in Really Twisted Forest, or probably somewhere at nowhere. Because, you know, for example, like we have the chicken and the eggplant, they're all scattered in the wild. So we even have that very bizarre relationship and marriage and childhood, or no, pregnancy of a eggplant and a chicken. Very odd. Area 51 and a half. Area 51.1. Okay, so nothing much to go talk about there. Maybe it's some sort of crash landing with chicken. Looks like a generic spaceship to me. But yeah. Alright, so looks like I'm gonna, well, kind of roughly in time. Okay, so again, thank you everyone for watching the first part of Picture of the Day. We managed to go through, how many photos did we get to go through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. The first hour of the live stream, it was completely unrelated to Picture of the Day, but it's also very interesting as well. It was regarding these topics right here, such as like the origin of my brand new profile picture. Uh, but yeah, again, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to check out the Infected Zone Discord server. The link is inside of the description. Make sure to also check out the Universal Item Guide as well. It's the cornerstone of the FusionFall community. And if you would like me to make any videos, if you have any suggestions on how I can improve, please let me know. I'm not sure when the next Legacy live stream is going to be, but it's going to happen. Alright, so please remember to leave a like, please comment, please subscribe, and yeah, I will see you and hear from you next time. Bye.